everybody, and welcome to the live stream. I am your hostess, Jenna Moreci. If you are not familiar, I am a #1 Amazon bestselling author of writing craft books as well as romantasy books. If you're into romantasy, which you totally should be, you should check out the first 2 books of my romantasy series, the Savior series. We've got the Savior's Champion and the Savior's Sister available right now. They're linked below. They're available at all major retailers, and you definitely need to hop aboard because the Savior's Army is coming out next. Should be coming out sometime this year. So definitely check out the first 2 books so you can be in the know when the Savior's Army comes out. If you are into writing, which if you're here, you probably are, you can check out Shut Up and Write the Book. It's my very first writing craft book. It is also available at all major retailers. It is also linked below. And you want to check it out soon because my second writing craft book, How to Write Romantasy, will be coming out this year. I actually just received the release date today, but I'm not going to announce it quite yet. Although if you're in Cyborg Central, you already know what the release date is. But
I'm glad you said I'm not going to announce because I was like, and it's on.
Yeah.
I'm about to do it because I was can we do a birthday present thing where like everyone goes and pre-orders it? Or is that not like possible?
When I talked to I had a meeting with my design team today and they let me know about it being on Amazon, but they're like, but we're not telling anyone about it right now. So like, well, let's just pretend it's not there. So
sorry, I pre-ordered.
So I didn't even know if I was allowed to tell anyone, but I just shared it to Cyborg Central just to say like, look, it's already up. That's cool. And then people started pre-ordering and I'm like, oh, well, you know what? They're not going to complain about some sales. So I'm just going to not tell any more people.
So I was like, we should all go here. Here's the link. Let's go.
I mean, like, I'm sure they wouldn't care if people pre-ordered it, but it's just one of those things where she was like, we're just gonna pretend it's not there for now. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, I'm already telling people about it.
It's like too late.
but yeah. So anywho, How to Write Romantasy will be coming out this year, so definitely check it out. I had a meeting with my design team today all about its cover, and they're hoping to have that ready in March. So it's very, very exciting. If you're new to these streams, we do writing sprints, which is where we set the timer for 20 minutes and you write as many words as possible. During those 20 minutes, we will not be providing a prompt for you. You will be working on whatever it is that you're working on, whatever your work in progress is. If you are not in the drafting phase of your work in progress, you can edit for 20 minutes. You could beta read for 20 minutes. You could critique for 20 minutes. You could do whatever you want for 20 minutes. I will be doing chores during the 20-minute sprints. So that's what I'm going to be doing. The idea is just to be productive and share our productivity with one another. And then after that, we will be answering questions from you guys. And today's stream is extra special because it's my birthday live stream. My birthday is on Wednesday. I will be 38. Yay. 38 and feeling great. Sorry, I distracted by comments. It's not going to be any different than the other streams. But it's the birthday stream because my birthday's in 2 days. But anyhow, that's the scoop. Let's go ahead and have my hostess introduce herself, my co-hostess.
Hi, I'm IONA WAYLAND, and I'm a dark fantasy author, and I'm working on a cozy paranormal mystery series, and that's all I got. Because I want everyone to buy Jenna's books today.
Oh, yes. For my birthday, you guys can buy any of my books that are linked below. You can buy merch. I actually just uploaded 2 brand new merch designs, so you can check them out.
I want to check them out.
Yeah, I shared them in Cyborg Central, but it was a couple nights ago, so you might have missed it.
I did miss it.
But it's a Butters design and a TSC design. So, but if you go to my merch store, I'm going
to go to your merch store.
It'll probably be the first 2 things. That's my guess. Cliff helped me design them.
Ooh.
Let me pull it up. Let's see if it's the first 2 things.
Merch.
Yeah, it's the first 2 things.
Ooh. I really I like both of them.
Uh-huh.
I really like the bloody hands.
The one I got is the Butters one. That's my birthday gift from Cliff.
That makes I think that's wonderful.
Subscribe to Butters. But anywho,
it's really cute.
Yes. Everyone, Everyone is being so sweet. Thank you guys so much for the birthday wishes. Happy birth soon day. Yes, soon. Soon I will be birthed from the womb. Although I was a C-section baby, so soon I will be birthed from the But anywho, guys, yeah, so my birthday's on Wednesday. And my anniversary was on Saturday. And
I
Cliff
love
got
this.
me flowers, and he got me balloons, and he got me my favorite candy, Scotchmallows.
I
So
love that.
it's all lovely. And Butters is down here somewhere wandering around. If you guys missed all the Butters drama, we thought she was sick, and it turns out she's not sick. She's just sick and tired of
chicken and rice.
that's not gourmet. And eat it if it's a $50 steak. Kachu's like, what about me?
Please. I love it. She's like, I must have the most gourmet shit, buddy.
Right? Kachu is so funny. Oh my goodness. Yeah. So she wasn't eating for a few days. She'd eat, but very, very little. And it was making me nervous. I was like, oh no, she's sick. Something's wrong. And then Cliff was like, she's probably just tired of her food. I'm like, she's a dog. Like, that's not a thing. And then he was like, here, let me try something. And he had ordered, a yummy dinner, and he gave her half of it, and she ate it. No problem. And I was like, okay, you know what? That's just a fluke. Let me try the steak. And I gave it to her, and she ate it. So she just wanted something fancy.
That's fine. No need. Just gave you up.
You could celebrate with a nice walk on the beach. It's January. The beaches are cold over here.
It's so funny. It was 40 outside today, and I was like, what a beautiful day. And I was like frolicking around. And I was like, it's so sunny and so warm. I was like, what's the temperature outside? Like, this is so crazy. It's got to be like 65. It was 40.
Oh, God.
It was 40. But because it's been like negative or like 3 degrees, I was like,
amazing.
Wow, this is incredible.
And 40 for me is 40 for me is like as low as it gets. She saw y'all eating fancy and she felt snubbed. Y'all weren't sharing. Mm-hmm. Yes, exactly. I demand that Jenna be upgraded to A section. I don't know what that means.
To the A section. I don't know.
I don't know what that means. I'm confused. Butters, come say hi. But anywho, guys, I don't have a ton of energy. I'm super tired because I've been having a lot of really bad insomnia. Yeah. So deal with me, like bear with me. I'm doing this. It was 29 here today, and I felt like I was in a heat wave. You know what? You guys are living in hell. That's all I can. You guys live in hell.
We're frozen over hell.
Yeah. Well, that's the worst part of hell. It's the final circle of hell is frozen. So
I didn't know that.
Have you ever read Dante's Inferno?
No, I know you like it.
I can't remember what the level is, but the worst circle of hell for the worst people is frozen, and their bodies are frozen in ice.
Oh.
And Satan is down there with 3 heads, and his wings are beating, and that's what's keeping everything frozen.
Oh, cold.
Yeah.
Oh. I pulled off an extra fluff from Kachu's chin, and it floated away, and now it's stuck to the wall. So that's gross. I don't know how that.
It's for traders. There we go.
It's for traders.
Thank you, John. Thank you so much for the super chat. I really appreciate it. Are you into Gothic novels? If so, what are your favorites? Not really, unless you count it's not not so much novel writing, but I like Edgar Allan Poe. But I'm not really super into Gothic novels, but I know Iona is, so she can answer this question.
I do like it, although my brain's doing that thing where I'm like, what is the definition of a Gothic novel? Because I don't know off the top of my head. I know I like Mexican Gothic and is one that comes to mind, but it's probably because the word Gothic is in it. But
that was me at my design meeting today. They're like, so what are some ideas for the cover? And I was just like, I
don't know.
Books are words and paper. I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm not helpful.
Oh, I know a Gothic novel I read recently, A Dowry of Blood. That was really good. A Dowry of Blood. It's about vampires.
Amazing. Brutus and Cassius are in the final circle of hell. Yes, I know that, but I just forgot why. But traitors, apparently. Traitors! Butters, come back here. You left me. It's my birthday. But anywho, guys, if you have questions, send them in. I wish I had more energy because this is the birthday stream. Oh, but I'm so
We can
tired.
play games today if you
We
want.
could play games, yes.
It's kind of a fun story. We have Smash or Pass, and then I forget there was the one where we write the answers on it.
Oh yeah, I don't know if I have energy for thinking up.
Oh yeah, Ruin It.
Yeah,
and I can't find Ruin It right now. I don't know what happened to it.
your dog and I have something in common. I know that Sean, you were misunderstanding me. I know what they did. I couldn't remember the theme of the Circle of Hell, but you explained it. It was traitors. I remembered that they were there. And I knew why.
No,
oh, Sean.
You will die.
I just couldn't remember the number of the level of hell and what it represented as a whole. Do you have YA romance recs that don't have any spice? I don't read young adult. So
also, young adults should not have spice.
Yeah, but unfortunately, it is a common problem. I know there's one author that I'm seeing a lot of controversy about, and it's kind of upsetting because they were an author that was like really cool and like really spoke up for like own voices, and so like someone who seemed like really like a good egg.
Yeah.
And they just published a sequel to one of their young adult books, and people are upset because it has a lot of graphic spice in it, and they're promoting the book based on the graphic spice, but it's a young adult book. And
I feel like that should have ended in like the 2010s was when that was like a problem. And then
and I just saw that. I was so okay, I'm so confused by the questions. But anyway, I was so confused because I saw them talking to other people and they're like, why is my book in the YA section? Like, it is definitely not like for that age category, but it is a young adult book, and like online it's labeled, it's like, and the characters are teenagers, so they know that it's young adult, but then they're like, it was very confusing to me. So I was like, oh, maybe the first book in the series is young adult and the second book is adult. But no, it's
that's how I'm interpreting it, because it's like, oh, maybe because they grew up, and that's still like not the best move, but that's still like somewhat understandable. But sounds like that's not what happened.
So
my recommendation of a young adult I just read is A Good Girl's Guide to Murder.
But is it a romance?
Oh yeah, no.
they asked for romance. Sarah J. Maas did that. Yes, Sarah J. Maas did that, but she's also just kind of a shitty person. So she wasn't the one I was talking about being a good egg. I would never be dumb enough to think Sarah J. Maas is a good egg. It's a different author. I don't want to say names or anything, but I've just seen a lot of people talking about how like, oh, it's kind of gross that they wrote these graphic scenes, and like they were promoting like why the book was so good, and they were talking about the graphic sex scenes, and people are like,
yeah,
what the fuck?
Yeah.
I don't know who that is.
The one that wrote
oh, no. I'll tell you. Hold on. Okay. I don't know how to spell their name, so I'm looking it up. Like I know how to say it, but but I don't want to say it.
Oh, that's upsetting.
Okay. Yeah, and I saw the promotion of like the book. I saw them promoting the book about the graphic sex, and I was confused. And I was like, I thought it was a young adult series. Maybe I misunderstood. And then after because I saw their post doing that, and then after I saw people talking about it and being like, it's really gross that there's this graphic sex scene between teenagers, and But anyhow. What is your number one tip for writing romantasy?
Read Writing Romantasy. There's lots of tips that you have.
I would say the first tip that I would start with is like understand the genre, because I know too many people who are writing romantasy and literally don't know what the genre is, and they don't know how it's defined, and it's like they're fucking themselves over. Okay, I just saw Megan in Cyborg Central because people in here like. Okay. Anywho, But yeah, understand the genre. And fortunately, in How to Write Romantasy, I have the whole first chapter is about understanding the genre. So yeah, how do you get to know characters better? I have characters and I'm like, they need, I've spoken a while, and I'm like, I don't know their personality that well. Character profiles. Go watch my video on character profiles.
It's a good one. It's a good one. And you don't have to like, I've also seen people, it's not as bad as World Builder's Disease, but I've definitely seen people create a character like almost like, I know this isn't what they're talking about, but like almost like, I don't want to say too much, but they get to know their character so much and then they don't write them down.
Mm-hmm.
And it's great. You can do the character profile, get to know them that way, get the basics of what you need, and then you can go from there. But if you don't know them that well right now, I think you got to start there.
My characters are teenagers, but my book is not YA. I've been told I'm going to have problems publishing it. Not really any spice though, just drugs mostly. I don't see why that makes your book not young adult.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not. So 9 times out of 10, if a book stars teenagers, it's young adult.
Mm-hmm.
There are very rare exceptions, and the rare exceptions are if there's a large cast of characters, large cast of main characters, and some are teenagers and some are adults.
Mm-hmm.
For example, what's it called?
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones,
Mm-hmm.
yes. But 9 times out of 10, adults do. Sorry, the questions are distracting me. 9 times out of 10, books starring teenagers are written for teenagers because grown-ups usually don't, they're not going to gravitate toward that unless they're the kind of people who really love young adult fiction. Right. So you saying that there's a lot of drugs, that's a young adult trope. So basically, I'm not understanding why this book isn't young adult just because there's drugs. I mean, there's murder in young adult books. So
yep, like
it
sounds tried to murder.
Yeah, it sounds YA to me. And I think if you want it to be an adult book, then you should age up your characters so they are adults. Because the reason that these age categories exist is because usually adults, obviously there are exceptions, but usually adults want to read about adults. Mm-hmm. And that's not, you want to read about some, I don't know. You want themes that you can relate to. Mm-hmm. Obviously there are exceptions. There are plenty of adults who like to read young adult fiction, but that's because they are going out of their way to read in a different category, mm-hmm. knowing what to expect. Mm-hmm. I hope I'm making sense.
You are.
Sign up. I don't know because it's traditionally published. I don't know if I get to personally send out digital ARCs, but if I do, TM Sparrow, I will be letting people in Cyborg Central know, and you could always sign up for a digital ARC, and then maybe you can get to read it early. But again, I don't know for sure.
That'd be really cool.
Happy birthday. Do you have a favorite flavor cake? You know what? I'm actually not really a cake person. I'm not really into cake. It's probably my least favorite dessert.
What's your most favorite dessert?
I like cookies.
Oh, I love that.
Cookies.
What's your favorite cookie?
I like chocolate chip cookies, and I like peanut butter cookies, and I like, they're called cloud cookies, where it's a chocolate cookie with chocolate chips, and then on the inside is marshmallow. So they expand like a cloud, and then you bite them. Oh, they're so good, but they take forever to make. But yeah. So
I've never heard of such things. This looks amazing.
They are delicious, and they take forever to make, so I haven't made them in ages, but they are the best cookies in the whole world.
Wow.
Where's the borderline between young adult and adult, and how explicit does it have to be? There is, there's new adult, which is just a subset of adult fiction where the characters are 19 to 25. If that's what you're talking about, it's still adult fiction, so it can be as explicit as you want. Mm-hmm. But there isn't a borderline between young adult and adult. It's either young adult or it's adult. Like, that's just how it is.
Even if you have, this is what a lot of people will make the mistake of doing, where I'll say it on the flip side, because I see it more on the flip side than anything, but they'll be like, my book is adult, and then their characters might be adults or whatever, but the tropes they use, the language they're using, it's all YA category, and it would speak to that audience better, and the characters act that age and all that stuff. And it's like, and they're like, oh, well, it's not because I have these explicit scenes in there. And it's like, okay, but your book would not fall apart if you took out those explicit scenes. But it would if you took out I'm not saying this in a mean way, because I like young adult fine whenever I feel like reading it. But if you took out the tropes and stuff, your book would fall apart. So it's obviously like young adult and just age down the characters to whatever is appropriate. Whereas same thing, like if you're writing young adult, you're going to have certain tropes that you're following and themes. And so what you would do is like just not randomly add in explicit scenes to that. Like you don't add explicit scenes to make it adult. That's not the matrix of your story would need to be vastly different to be in that category.
Plenty of adult books do not have any death, any violence, any sex. A lot of people are confused by these labels. Adult doesn't mean rated R. It just means that the themes appeal to grownups. So themes that grownups can relate to. Grownups can relate to a lot of things that, I mean, I can't relate to murder personally. I've never murdered anyone.
That we know of. That's what a murderer would say.
I'm on the asexual spectrum, so I don't really need sex in the work that I read, you know? Themes of like adult themes would be, you know, like it could just be like trouble at work, you know, themes of trying to, you know, navigate a divorce. That's an adult theme and it's not explicit, you know? So yeah, people get confused by that. What is your opinion on a book with only one character focusing on the inner world in isolation? I don't have an opinion. I'd have to read the book. Like I can't really have an opinion on a concept or an idea. Ideas are a dime a dozen. You know what I mean? It's all in the execution.
Yep. Sounds interesting though. Like having an inner world story that can be done. That's been done before.
I'm not into pie because I don't really like pie crust.
Oh.
And also most pies are fruit. I don't like fruit, but I do like I've had chocolate mousse pie and it was good, but I just eat the chocolate mousse and I leave the crust. So I might as well just have chocolate mousse.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. This is like I made a smoothie and it's getting everywhere. Okay.
Oh no.
I fixed it.
I am the worst person to ask these kind of hypotheticals for because I'm just like, well, I wrote them.
It depends.
So I wanted them to switch sides. I would just write them switching sides. Like I'm too autistic for this question. What about you, Iona? You don't really have, in your new book, you have villains.
I do have villains in my new book, but none of them switch sides. And I think this will be so specific. Mine's the thing. I always want to be like, it depends. Like it depends for every answer.
Right.
Because this one, you know, what will convince them to switch sides? It depends on the character. So it'll be different for everybody.
It'll be different for everybody. Happy early birthday. Thank you guys. It's the big 3-8. Feeling great. I just wish I had more energy today, but the insomnia be insomnian or something. I want to make it a romance where the main perspective couple is the focus, but the other 4 friends pair off as well by the end of the summer. Would it be too much going on or is it okay? It's hard for me to say without reading the book. I personally have plenty of characters. I have, sorry, my nose itches. I have 3 ships in the Savior's Army. And what you're describing, it sounds like, I'm assuming 4 friends pairing off. I'm assuming you mean 2 and then 2 together. So that's 3 ships as well. So to me, it's not too much because that's exactly what I did. But that I don't, you know, it depends on the book and how it's written. That's just my thought process. It
also like, you know what you could do is you could do like a side, like romance series or whatever too.
Oh, like a spinoff.
Yes, thank you. Like a spinoff, and you could, if you wanted to, separate out those ships and do a book based on each of them. But if you have them in the background as background characters getting together with people, I think that's great too.
Agreed. If a new book tends to have characters between 18 and 29, it's 18 to 20. It's 19 to 25. New adult is 19 to 25. Would a series that goes through the character's life from 15 to 20 be young adult or new adult? That would be young adult, because they are
15.
Yeah, 18. They're only a new adult age for 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's possible where if it's a long series, I hate to use Wizard Butthole as an example, but the Harry Potter series starts off middle grade,
Mm-hmm.
and by the last 2 books, it's young adult.
Mm-hmm.
That could happen.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little bit hard to transition from young adult to new adult because it depends on if you're going to start including graphic shit. Like graphic sex, I mean.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't recommend doing that. It's a little easier going from middle grade to young adult because that just means you're going from let's hold hands to let's kissing. Let's kiss, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So you can transition it from like a series that's young adult and then the last book is new adult, but I would recommend not adding graphic sex because there will still be a lot of young adult readers.
Mm-hmm.
Someone once told me everything goes downhill after 40. Well, that was a very interesting thing to say to someone on their 38th birthday.
Yeah. Also, I've never heard anyone say that before either.
I hear
the opposite, where they're like, people will be like, enjoy your 20s, they're the best time of your life. And then you leave your 20s and you're like, thank fucking God that's over. That was terrible. But everyone's like, it gets better and better, unless they're miserable.
Yeah, I think the only people that I hear saying this are people who made choices in life that were stupid.
Actually, you know what? You're right. And if I think about one person I've heard that said that, I'm like, is it because you turned 40 or is it because you're an
Because you hate your
asshole?
life choices? Yeah. I had kids that I didn't want to have. I married a man who treats me like his mom and his maid. The people I know who say things about that, they're like, now I'm 40 and I wasted my life.
Yeah.
And I'm older now and I can't go and do the things that I wanted to do. It's those people who say that. Whereas I married my dream guy. I have my dream job. So I'm looking forward to getting older because it's just, you just have
it's all good from what so uphill downhill
it's all uphill
good
from here.
Uphill from here. Okay, I was like, which direction are we?
The
like,
only
it's all
thing
paved out.
the only thing I've noticed so far is as I've gotten older is I've been giving fewer fucks. So I'm just
That's
more
pretty healthy.
Yeah, I've been giving fewer fucks. I've been getting healthier, and so has Cliff. We've been getting healthier, and I'm getting richer. So and I still look cute. So it's like if getting richer,
what's the downside of this?
Having fewer fucks is downhill, then I will take it. Like, oh, I'm downhill swimming in my money, you know.
Scrooge McDucking it. I love that.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
I'm looking forward to being able to say that I'm 40 personally, just because I think I'm cute, and so I just feel like it's a flex to be getting older, you know, instead of being dead. And I feel like the people who say it's all downhill, they're the people who would rather be dead. But anywho, what were you gonna say?
I was just saying that, like, so psychologically there is like a renaissance. This is the therapy segment of this, like your psychology segment of this live stream, where there's this renaissance in a person when after they turn between 40 and 45-ish, like around then is when people go through a renaissance, or they decide to ignore the renaissance and like get a little stuck in a rut. And it's not too late if you feel like that, but like I'm just saying that like this is the moment when like people's lives change. Like you know, in my work, I always tell people my favorite age groups to work with are middle school and then between 45 and 55, because that's when people are actually like they're like both middle schoolers and 45 to 55-year-olds, as weird as this sounds, they're like, I'm ready to change shit. I'm sick of this shit. I want to be different, or like I need my life to be different, and I am going to make that happen. And the difference is that whenever like you're a middle schooler, there's like kind of only so much power you have and so much you can do. But as an adult, where you're like established, I'm like, yeah, the world's your oyster, and they finally see that. It's very satisfying. So I'm not like worried about the age group. I honestly, the age group I'm most worried about feeling like stuck in not doing well is the 20s.
Yeah. Definitely, like I felt my 30s were better than my 20s by a lot. And like I said, like the biggest change is that Cliff and I have gotten healthier.
Mhm.
I mean, like, and I have way more money and I'm more successful. So it's
Mhm.
like, bring it on, you know? Like, I think
Yeah.
this is great. And yeah, as someone who is over 40, I think 40 was the perfect age, young enough to live, but old enough to have wisdom. Exactly. Like I feel like I look back at my 20s and I feel very cringy because I wasn't as confident as
Struggling.
I am
We're all
now. Yeah.
struggling.
I wasn't as
Yeah.
confident as I am now. And I took shit that I shouldn't have taken,
Mm,
and
I
now
get
I don't take the shit.
Mhm.
Let's see. I don't know why downhill sounds so negative when I'd rather walk downhill than uphill.
See,
That's
that's
true.
why I was getting confused because I was like, no, because it's all downhill from here because it's like easy breezy. And then I was like, wait, no, uphill. But why is that positive? I don't know.
Yeah, so far everyone is saying that they love their 40s, except Sarah. Just kidding. Jenna is winning personified then. Thank you. Jenna is a cute Scrooge McDuck comfort. It's so funny because on my vision board, when I was in my 20s, I took a picture of Scrooge McDuck skiing and money and I put my face on it, and that was on my vision board.
Oh my
And
God, it's come true.
it's come true. I didn't even think about that. I also put a picture of my face on the Times cover for like New York Times best-selling author and
Ooh,
stuff, and
maybe
like
that'll happen.
maybe, but yeah, it's just so funny. Let's see. If you're working with romance where the two characters haven't met, how long should you take for them to finally meet? I'm asking this because my story it took 9 chapters and I don't know if that's too long. If you are writing a romance, not a romantic subplot, but if this is a romance, they need to meet within
ASAP.
the yeah,
Mhm.
within the first 2 chapters.
Mhm.
Otherwise, it's not really a romance. Yeah. Well, in the Savior's Champion, I think they met in chapter 3. Okay, so within the first 3
Whoa,
chapters.
that's
Oh
crazy.
no!
No, it's also romantasy where they're
Yeah.
talking about a romance.
Yeah, so they need to meet really, really soon. Let's see it. I need to put Jenna on my vision board. Let's see.
Jenna's a good one to have on your vision board.
Yeah, but
I'm
you
so
want to
sorry I'm
become
yawning so much.
you. Just like you want to become like I didn't put any other people on my vision board. I just put my face on top of situations.
You're
So I
like,
put my
yes, don't
face.
idolize me.
Yeah.
Be your own Scrooge McDuck.
Right. I put my face on top of Scrooge and I took a picture of this guy throwing money and I put Cliff's head on it, like because we shared a vision board.
I love it.
Yes, that doesn't mean they need to fall in love in
Yeah,
chapter 2 or
yeah,
3. They just gotta meet.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
So like in Filthy
Mhm,
Rich, they meet in chapter 2. In The
mhm.
Savior's Champion, they meet in chapter 3. So you got to get it done pretty early on, or else people are going to be like, "This isn't a romance novel." So
Where's
yeah,
the honk?
where's the honk?
These people sound like that and say that all the time.
Oh goodness. How do you decide if a side character is needed? I have a few characters that shape the lives of the main characters, but they only appear in a few chapters. If you delete that character and the story could continue, then they're not needed. I would say that, then they're filler. Or if you have like 6 characters and they each have one scene, couldn't you just turn that into one character who has 6 scenes? Does that make sense? Like, for example, originally Layla was going to have 3 sisters. Wait, she does have 3 sisters. Originally, Layla was going to have 4 sisters. And I realized that one of the sisters, the job she performed could just be given to Pippa because Pippa's whole job was to be cute and say funny things. That was all she had. And then this one sister was going to give people food. And I'm like, well, Pippa can be cute and funny and still give people food. There's no reason that I have a whole other sister just to give people food. So yeah, that's when you start combining people. Let's see. Okay, people are just giving their examples of stuff. I'm writing Victorian dark fantasy romance with one of my characters referring to sex as bumping uglies. Thank you for introducing me to that term.
Wait, maybe I don't think that's a Victorian. Though.
Yeah, I don't know if that is Victorian. Bumping uglies, I think, is a pretty modern term.
It is. I thought it was in the 80s. That was maybe 60s. Maybe 60s. Maybe 60s.
To be clear, I did not invent that term. Bumping uglies was. Oh, that's a band. There's a band called Bumpin' Uglies.
That's hilarious.
Oh, apparently it started in 1992 because
92? That's way more recent than
House of Pain had a lyric that said, "Let's bump uglies in the nighttime between the sheets." So
that's hilarious.
So Caitlin Bell, you need to delete that from your book. I don't think Victorian people are going to be using 90s slang.
Definitely refer, because there's a lot. Okay, I know this is weird to think about, but in the Victorian era, there were pornos, like drawings, but there were pornos. There were very racy letters written to each other. Like there's a whole like. It's not like no one had sex then.
Right.
So definitely see what the
horny.
terms were then. Yes, they were very horny. That's why they're still like people. That's why like wedlock is still brought up. Like people had to get married real quick after they got pregnant by accident. Like this all happened. So I think it's good if you research that. Do not use bumping uglies, even though I'm really glad you like that term.
Right. Yeah.
It's pretty great.
This was a mistake. People pierce that's the wrong. Oh, you can find a plethora of old-timey sex terms. Mm-hmm. People pierce their nips in Victorian times. Mm-hmm. What is one thing that helped you be healthier that you would recommend for others? The things that I would recommend, no one is going to want to do. No one's going to want to do it, which makes it sound like I'm going to tell you to drink your piss. That is not what I would. I'm not telling that. Don't drink your piss. Okay. The things that have helped me is like one of the most obvious ones is avoiding processed food. That's not to say I never have processed food. I mean, Cliff just bought me See's candy, and processed food. When I say there's pretty much everything you get at the grocery store is processed in some way, because the technical term for processed food means it's like someone's touched it and handled it. So even like vegetables at the grocery store are considered processed. When I say processed foods, I mean like
chemicals.
I mean like cereal, Chips Ahoy, Doritos. If you can avoid that stuff or limit it, I would recommend it, because you can't eliminate it completely. That's just not going to happen. Okay. I eat chips and stuff. It's just that if I can have something that I made, like I would, do that. It's oh goodness. Sorry. I'm so distracted. It's hard. And even that, like I said, I'm not perfect out with this at all. I eat processed foods. It's just a matter of, I try to avoid what I would call snack food. So like cereal, chips, that kind of thing. I don't.
Meats have a lot in it, depending on which ones you get to.
Well, I eat meat,
no. But certain meats, like deli meat, like
that kind of yeah.
I'm not saying don't eat meat. Definitely, eating meat is wonderful. I just mean like the deli meat or the sausages and stuff like that too, as well. It's like another thing that whenever I cut that out, that made me feel a lot better.
Like I don't have soda often, like that kind of food. Like I hope I'm making the stuff that you find where there's colorful cartoon people on the boxes. I try to avoid that. If I'm going to have cookies, I usually make the cookies. You know what I mean? Just stuff like that. And obviously, even if you do that, like for example, I make myself quesadillas all the time. The tortillas are technically processed, but it's better than eating, a fucking instant mac and cheese. You know what I mean? Like that's what I mean. I'm trying to think of the things that are easier to do. The biggest thing is if you can get nutrients from the nutrients you need from food, it's better to do that versus vitamin pills. Obviously, if you're going to get, it's better to have vitamins than no nutrients at all. But if you can get stuff from food, that's really good. The thing that Cliff and I have started doing, that this is the thing that most people are like, nope, I'm not going to do that. And it's not drinking piss. So one of the foods, so organ meats, like animal organ meats, are extremely nutrient dense. And liver is actually more nutrient dense than most vegetables. And but liver is disgusting, as we all know. It's fucking gross. But they recommend that you have liver, like a serving of liver once a week to get 80% of the nutrients you need for the week. But who fucking wants to do that? So there's this hack that a lot of people do where they make quote unquote liver pills, which is where you take liver and you chop it up into tiny pieces and you freeze it. And then every day you just swallow 2 or 3 tiny pieces of liver. So you're not tasting it, you're just taking it like a pill and you're getting the nutrients. And if you take 2 or 3 tiny pieces a week or a day, it comes up to like a full serving of liver that week and you get the nutrients you need. Aesthetic Avery. Yes, it's gross. There's probably some way to prepare liver that's tastier.
I can't think of it's so overpowering. But there are people who like it and it's fine.
Yeah, I don't, but so I just do the liver pills. And I will say that ever since I started doing that, I've noticed, Cliff and I have both noticed a dramatic difference in terms of like energy, mood, just, all that good stuff. And you don't taste it because you just swallow it and it's frozen,
Yeah.
cold. It's,
There are lots of pills that taste bad that you swallow and they're fine.
This was actually recommended to me by a nutritionist. I'm not a nutritionist, obviously, so go do the research if you want to. But I'm a kind of person, I don't like vegetables because of autistic reasons. So I do the liver pills instead, and it works great for me. So that's just some of the things I do to be healthier these days, and taking care of my skin and just things like that. Being more cognizant of what I put in my body. I'm saying this, and I'm literally about to pour myself a glass of wine. So clearly, like I'm not sitting here being like, oh my gosh, I go into the garden and I'm going to harvest my own grapes to make my own wine. I'm not sitting here saying that. I have a box of Seeds candy upstairs. It's just about, like, for example, I know someone who, her and her family have McDonald's 4 times a week for dinner.
That's expensive.
Yeah, it's expensive. Now. Like just be, do what you can. And I eat fast food sometimes, but I have it like once a month. You know what I mean? It's just being cognizant of that kind of thing. I hope I'm making sense and not sounding like
you are. Also, I want to add
a granola.
No, you're not. You definitely don't sound like a granola. That's like all normal things that people, because even people who, because I remember I used to eat fast food a lot. And I had like an issue with it because it was just so convenient. I was so tired. It was when I was in grad school. Even when I was like eating it all the time, I was like, yeah, I shouldn't be eating this much of it. Like, it's not like you sound granola for being like, maybe it's not the best for you. Like, that's not like new, like crazy information.
Yeah. And also, sorry, I just wanted to add,
no, go ahead.
Keep in mind that inflammation affects more than just diabetes. Inflammation can affect mental health. Inflammation can affect a lot of autoimmune disorders. So for example, if Cliff has a lot of inflammatory foods, his CRPS gets bad. If I have a lot of inflammatory foods, my PTSD gets bad. So keep that in mind, especially if you have like anxiety or something like that. And inflammatory foods are processed sugars. So when I say processed sugars, I'm not talking about fruit or even white table sugar. I'm talking about soda, Nerds ropes, Twizzlers, like Debbie's, Little Debbie's, that's processed sugar. Processed sugar is inflammatory.
You can taste the difference too.
Soy, unfortunately, is inflammatory. That's why vegan diets don't usually work for people who have inflammatory conditions. Vegan diets will actually make them feel like shit. That's not to say the vegan diet is bad. It's just not good for people like Cliff who have CRPS because they eat a lot of inflammatory foods like soy. And I hate to say it, but gluten is really inflammatory. So I am not gluten-free. Cliff is not gluten-free, but we are low gluten. So and that's easy to be because you can get gluten-free pasta these days. Like every company has gluten-free pasta. It tastes just like regular pasta. So we just make the gluten-free pasta. The only thing I have found that it's hard to find a good gluten-free version is gluten-free bread. So when I have bread, I usually have sourdough or I just have bread. Yeah. Sourdough actually, it has gluten, but
it does, but it's less.
Yes, the way it's cooked and prepared,
Mm-hmm.
the gluten is significantly less inflammatory than
Mm-hmm.
other breads.
It also
So
has a low, wait, I'm doing the flip flop thing. I can't remember if it's low or high glycemic index, but for those who need to watch like their sugars and stuff,
yeah,
whichever the good one is, even though it's a white bread and you still have to be careful with it, it's like lower. I swear it's low on the glycemic index or whatever. It's healthier for you,
right.
and then it also has those bacterial cultures if they don't like die in the oven.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's another thing. So like I said, I'm not gluten free. You know, I have
Mhm.
gluten sometimes. I just if I can replace it with something else, I will.
Mhm.
So like I know how to make some really delicious gluten-free cookies. So I'll make the gluten-free cookies. I know how to make amazing gluten-free waffles. They taste exactly like regular waffles. Fucking delicious. I just, when it comes to bread, I'll eat the fucking bread, you know.
Mhm.
But gluten-free pasta, it's all available. And it just helps to keep the inflammatory response low. So it's just things like that, just being cognizant. And it, like I said, I'm not a nutritionist. These are things I have learned from Cliff. These are things that I've learned because Cliff has CRPS,
Mhm.
and that is highly affected by nutrition. So
Mhm.
he has had to see a lot of nutritionists, and I've been like, okay, I'll try that too.
Absorbing
I've been these are all things that were
and
recommended for him.
implementing. Yep.
Yes, and I was like, okay, I'll try that too. And I have noticed a difference. Like, yeah, I didn't know it affected mental health either, and then I started doing it. And like when I like go crazy and like, okay, I'm gonna go like have a ton of soda and stuff, and I'm gonna have a ton of gluten, then I'll notice like, oh, why am I having a panic attack later? You know,
That's what I found out with me and freaking caffeine, where I was like, wow, I guess I can't have caffeine. It never used to affect me that way. But I'm like, oh, but this year was definitely my like, yeah, gluten free. There are good gluten free cookies. But
let me.
my
Sorry,
oh, go ahead.
continue.
My two things I wanted to add to keeping yourself healthy things is one, like someone was talking about, a couple of folks were talking about in the chat, but also like I'm very texture oriented and I can't have a lot of stuff because of the texture. And now that I know, like, if you can just like find workarounds for things, like I'm having more fruit in my life than I ever have in my entire life because I learned that I like smoothies.
Yes.
And so if I put it wasn't the taste. If I just put everything in a smoothie, like this has like kale and spinach and like blueberries in it and like Greek yogurt, and I don't like any of those things separately. Well, I do like kale and spinach, but I don't like those things separately. But then when I mix it all together and it's smoothie, I'm like fine with it. So there are hacks, like whenever you're talking about your liver pill hack, it's like, okay, there are workarounds to this. Like you don't have to eat it the same way that your great grandmama made it for you. Like you don't have to be stuck in that. There are other options. So there's that. And then the other thing is to advocate for yourself, even though it's exhausting as hell and we shouldn't have to advocate this much. I took this past year to make sure I followed every single possible lead on the things that I was worried about my health and about my body. And I'm healthier now than I have been in a really, really long time, like since before the age of 20, to be honest, because I figured a lot of stuff out. I needed an organ removed. Like there are so many things that I need to be on certain medicines for autoimmune stuff. And it's been really helpful to know, like, just because if I hadn't followed up and if I didn't just call around, I'm like, yeah, you can just call around and find someone who listens to you. And even if you're like, I don't know if I have this or not, but I need you to rule it out so that I feel more chill about this, then you can do that too. So
yeah, I completely agree. I actually recently got like I was getting new medication for my PTSD and I got a whole like blood work thing done and I'm like crazy healthy. And like I'm like the healthiest person in my family and my sister's a nurse. And the only thing that's not healthy is my brain. So yeah, so like and I'm someone who like people are talking about salads. I fucking hate salads. I don't like vegetables because of texture issues. And usually when I make stuff with vegetables, like for example, I make a lot of sauces that have like tomatoes and onions and thing. And what I do is I blend it. And so it's a cream sauce. And that way I don't have to deal with the texture issues, but I still get the veggies. But like I said, I do the liver pills. That helps significantly. Gluten-free cookies. I dropped a recipe. It is the easiest cookie recipe in the world.
It does peanut butter one with the chocolate on top.
Yes. It does have processed sugar because you're using peanut butter, unless you wanted to go get like the ultra granola sugar-free peanut butter.
Yeah.
I just use Skippy, like a good old American. So it does have processed sugar, but it's gluten-free, and they are fucking delicious, and they are the best peanut butter cookies I've ever had, and they are the easiest desserts to make, and they always impress. But anywho, all that said, there are so many workarounds and everything, and also just like trying to focus on protein, getting enough protein in your diet, things like that. Another thing that I do is I take collagen supplements every day. I take collagen powder. I put it in my coffee every morning. And the reason I do this is, one, it's good for your skin. Obviously, collagen is best for your skin if you put it on your skin. A collagen supplement that you drink, it's still going to help your skin, but it's not going to help as much as putting it on the skin. But I don't just take it for that. I take it for ligament, joint, cartilage health. It has helped. I have carpal tunnel in this hand, and I have zero pain because I take the collagen. It's also good for your digestion.
Can I tell you a funny collagen story?
Sure.
Okay, you know how people will give unsolicited advice about health, like what you should be doing, like put ice on Cliff's back kind of stuff. Okay, so so when I got diagnosed with Ehlers-Danlos, which I totally knew I had, but I finally got diagnosed this past year, someone was like, and it's a collagen production disorder. Like I make either too much or not enough, or it's wrong. And a connective tissue disorder, like same thing, either too much or not enough, or it's wrong. And someone was like, it's fine. You can just put collagen in your coffee or tea every day and it'll go away. And I was like, oh, you're joking. They're like, no. And I was like, oh no, this is stupid though. That was dumb.
It doesn't even surprise me at this point.
I'm like, what? How does that have to do with my collagen production? Like these little workers that are like, we ran out of bricks, but we'll use this ones that you swallowed, like instead. Like, what do they think happens? But no, so sorry, you saying that, I totally forgot to tell you that whenever it happened. But you talking about collagen reminded me of it.
If it helps, I can show you where I buy my liver, but I get it from, I try to get, like, if I'm getting like beef, I try to get it from like a place that's, I don't know the website. I try to get it from a place where it's like ethically raised, like farmed and stuff, and like the cows are, the cows are fed the proper stuff. I can't remember. I can't remember what it's called, or else I would send you the link. But it's expensive, and you have to order in bulk. Like, you can't just order one thing of liver. Like, I have to order
in bulk is my favorite thing to do. I don't know where that comes from, but I'm like, excellent. We have enough food for 3 winters.
That's another thing I do is I make bone broth. So I order bones. I make bone broth. It's super easy to make.
You are a witch. You eat liver and make a bone soup.
And I'm not going to be here like Gwyneth Paltrow and be like, just drink bone broth for lunch. I don't do that shit. It's just that if I'm making something that requires broth, instead of buying store-bought broth, I will use the bone broth. Bone broth is extremely healthy for you. It has like all the nutrients you need because it takes it from the marrow in the bones. It's really, really healthy for you. And if you make it, it's the healthiest it's going to be because there's nothing processed in it. It's just animal and water and vegetables. So anything that requires broth, anytime I make soup, I use bone broth. Anytime that what was I going to say? Anytime, like, for example, if I'm making like Spanish rice, rice is usually made with broth. I use bone broth, and then the rice absorbs the bone broth, so it absorbs like the nutrients and stuff like that. If I'm making a sauce that requires broth, I use the bone broth. And sometimes, like, if I'm sick, then I will just drink bone broth because it'll help you get better.
It tastes good, and it's
I just put some salt and basil and stuff in it and make it flavorful. Some garlic salt, and I drink it.
This is a witch brew. I like it.
So I hope that was helpful. Sorry I got on a tangent. I'm always afraid I'm going to sound like those people who are like, I went into my garden and I harvested the dates. I'm not like that. If you look in my fucking cabinet, I've got bags of peanut butter M&Ms. I've got, plenty of processed foods because it's unavoidable. It's
It is
unavoidable.
unavoidable.
But it's
also,
about,
it's not. You're not saying it's moderation and stuff
Yeah.
like that. All that fun middle.
it's
ground.
about doing what you can where you can. Because, like, I'm not going to make my bread from scratch. I don't have the time. Iona is, and I will live vicariously through her. I'm going to buy the bread, but it's about, like, doing what you can where you can.
I made a loaf, and I made 2 loaves. One I made, and it tasted funny, and then and I realized I didn't add salt, so that was horrendous.
Oh no!
And I know, and so I was like, it's fine. I'll make another one, and it'll be bigger and better than ever. So I doubled the recipe and made a loaf that was like this big, and I didn't cook it long enough, so the inside didn't cook all the way through. And I was like, oh no, this is terrible. So I put it back in there for like an hour and a half, and it finally cooked all the way through. But then the outside is cement.
Oh no!
I'm like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do now. And then today, my husband, he was like, I went out and bought the ultimate pack of knives. Like, now you're going to be one of those weird knife guys where they're like, I brought my own, and they're like, not a chef, but they bought like gourmet knives.
Oh
but
my
I'm
goodness!
Just like, okay, how is this going to help me chisel my way through the?
You like got a pick. You're like,
the inside is so good though. The crust is just horrendous.
Someone on Reddit suggested mincing liver and mixing it with hamburger patty so you won't notice taste. That's genius because
That's really, see, this is the workaround I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's how I do. That's how I do like with vegetable and sauces. I just blend it and mix it in,
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think that's genius. But like I said, I do the liver pills. I just swallow them. I'm one of those people who I don't really like swallowing pills.
That's an autistic thing. Did you know that that's an autistic thing?
It's weird because as a kid I was okay with it, but as I grew up, it became worse and worse and worse.
Interesting. I've never had a problem.
But I don't mind the liver pills for some reason. I think it's
because it's a chunk of food.
I think it's because they're cold, so it almost feels like soothing going down.
Yes.
Yeah. But when I swallow a pill, I get like, but anywho, the only supplements I take, like actual pill supplements I take, are moringa and magnesium. But everything else I just take through food. Another option is sea moss, but that's like a newer thing, and I do notice that I feel better, and I mix that in my coffee as well. But yeah, also,
she's so cute. I thought she was gonna do the thing.
I know, but say hi.
Okay. She's a crystal.
Say hi. She was in my appointment today. Hello. Hi. Are you ready to do the thing? You look like you're about to.
She does. She has the blessed look in her eye.
Hello, sweetie. You want to say hi? Everyone loves you. Boop, 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 boop. Thank you. She was in my design meeting today, and all of a sudden she started growling in the middle of it. Everyone's like, "Can we see her?" Oh, I just saw the don't get rid of contractions. Yes, don't get rid of contractions. People have been using contractions for eons. What do you think chant is?
Yeah. What do you think goodbye is? Goodbye is a contraction. An o'clock is a contraction. So definitely I think you need to research, because just based off of, I'm not trying to be annoying, but I'm being annoying for a second. If you didn't know about bumping uglies being not Victorian, and you're about to get rid of all of the contractions because you don't know if they spoke or not, you got to research Victorian era a little more. And it doesn't have to be annoying or like boring research. You can read novels from the time period. You can watch movies from the time period. You'll see.
You got to do some research.
It's not even that different then. But you got to do some research because you can't. You're falling into some traps there.
But yes, I was like, what was I talking about? So I was in the design meeting and Butter started growling. Everyone's like, can we see her? And I showed her, and they're like, oh, that's a big growl for such a little dog. I was like, I know.
I like how she's like growl vibrating next to you. Right. She sounds like a cane corso. And they're like, it's just a little puff of a thing.
Yeah, she's just and now she's giving me so many kisses. I was so worried about her, guys, this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So she got her shots on Thursday, and after she got her
I think
shots,
this is hilarious.
she wasn't eating much. Like she was eating it just went for she was eating one meal a day, and then she was eating half of one meal a day. And I was freaking out. Like I literally Saturday night, I couldn't sleep. I was so worried about her. I would just watch her. And it was like, she's still breathing. I was like, something's wrong. I gotta call the vet. Like I was thinking of taking her to the emergency vet. I was like, she's sick, something's wrong. And all she needed was steak. She just fucking wanted steak.
This is commoner food.
She was starving herself for steak.
She was on a hunger strike.
She was on a hunger strike because she wanted steak.
She wanted gourmet food.
I lost sleep because of you, woman. And all you wanted was steak.
I still will never get it. It reminds me of Artie when he would get a lot of attention and us being like, "Oh, Artie, what's wrong?" Because he found out that if he sucked up his leg and like hobbled around with it, that Monty would get in trouble because I thought he did something to him. And then also he'd be like, "Did you twist your ankle?" And then I'd have his little paw and he'd start shaking it like this.
He knows.
The vets. Sorry, what did you say?
I said he knows.
He knows. I took him to the vets. They did x-rays. They were like, "We're not sure what's wrong with him." So I'm like, "I'm sorry, I have to go to the bathroom really quick, whatever." As soon as I left, he was like, da 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 da. And then as soon as I came back in the door, he was like, "Oh." He like, do that. He goes like, "Oh." Like I was like, "What is happening?" And they were like, "Okay, so we just figured out the problem." I'm like, "Oh great, what is it?" They're like,
He's faking it.
"He's faking it?" Like blatantly in front of our very eyes. They were like, "You're a good little actor." I'm like, hundreds of dollars later.
Right? Hundreds of dollars. But that's like Butters. That's why she does the thing, is because she knows that everyone likes it and she'll get attention when she does it.
She's like, "Everyone loves when I do this. This is so great."
We bought the She's Doing the Thing mug for Celine, Cliff's physical therapist.
I love that. I love my She's Doing the Thing mug.
Yes. We're talking about you little pretty. Oh, you're so beautiful. Look at these teeth. We're gonna get you a little dentist appointment. Oh no, she's not up. She's not happy because I looked at her teeth. Those are my teeth. Don't look at my teeth. We should probably do a sprint, but I don't want to because my sprints are gonna be on chores.
Ew! Don't do chores on your birthday stream. That's so.
I know, but we have the house cleaners coming tomorrow. I don't have a lot of chores. I just have to do the trash and the dishes.
Okay, it's fine. On the sprint, I'm gonna do day work because I had a meltdown today.
It's all good. What is everyone else gonna do on the sprint? Let us know. But yeah, I'm trying to think of what else, because you asked me how the design meeting went, but there's not really much to say. I met the designer and then like the head of I met my book cover artist, the head of the design team. It was with my agent and my editor, and they were just kind of like, "What do you want on the cover?" I was like, "Well, my branding color is red, so if you want to put
something red,
but you don't have to." And then we literally just pulled up romantasy books and we're like, and then they pulled up writing craft books. I'm like, "I don't like that one. It's ugly." And they're like, "Yeah, that one's really ugly." I'm like, "But I like all the rest of them."
I have a controversial one that I don't like.
Oh my gosh.
This one, I think it's hideous. Hideous.
Oh, me too.
Yeah.
But they didn't pull that one up.
That's so good, because I think that would have been awkward.
The one that they showed that I was like, "That's hideous," is this one.
Oh, I've seen that one.
I was like, "That's basically clip art." They're like, "Yeah." I was like, "It looks like clip art." They're like, "We think it is clip art."
It's 1,000% clip art.
Yeah.
It's like, but zhuzh it up.
But yeah, the one you just listed, I hate that one, and I was afraid that they were going to show that as an example, and I'm like, "Don't you dare, don't!" But they didn't. So and they even had my book up there as an example. And then they're like, what romantasy book covers do you like? I was like, "Well, I like my covers." But then yeah, and then I showed like Jennifer Armentrout. I don't know if you know I'm saying that right. I showed her covers, Angela J. Ford's covers. And then we talked about
I like Angela J. Ford's covers too.
We talked about symbology on romantasy covers. I'm like, it's like lots of weapons, lots of flowers, lots of like butterfly wings and feathers and stuff like that. And you know, they were talking about how to mix and match stuff.
What was the first the first author you said?
Jennifer Armentrout.
That's I could remember Armentrout, but I couldn't remember Jennifer. Hold on, I want to. I know I've seen her books, but I want to look at her covers more. Oh yeah. Yep. I think that'll be really cool. Whatever they come up with, I think it's going to be
right. Obviously, like it's a nonfiction book, so it's not going to look
Yeah.
exactly like this. But they're trying to find a way to show that it's nonfiction, but about romantasy. You know.
Yes. And yeah, obviously they wouldn't go full blown. I almost said full frontal. I don't understand.
And just put a dick on it.
Full romantasy cover, but
Right.
well, I guess they could if they slapped a dick on there. I think people would be like, "What's this?"
Just slap a dick.
Everyone loves it when you do that.
Slap a dick. And my agent mentioned, they're like, Jenna's really funny, so if there's any way you could imply humor on the cover, I don't know how that would be possible, but she just threw it out there. And then the editor went on and on about how my book is really, really funny, and she was just cracking up. And I was just like, thank you so much, you know. And she said,
"Thank you, I'm a delight."
Yeah, and she sent it to the copy editor, and she was like, if any of the jokes are too much for you, let us know. And I was like,
No.
yeah. I was like, but she goes, but I thought they were all hilarious.
If any of the jokes are too much for you, it means you're a bunch of bitches. Pick up or down. Ouch. Sorry.
I was like, I basically just wrote all the jokes that came to mind, and then was like, I told my editor, if it's too much, just let me know. But I'm just keeping it real for now.
Oh, it's funny. Imagine the chafing. That's the one that got me.
Oh yeah, she loved that one. And then I added another mind vagina and mind anus quote.
Excellent.
Because I had that in Shut Up and Write the Book, so I added it to this one.
We have to keep them related.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm not a fan, but I like her covers. Her covers are beautiful.
So that's good to know.
It's lots of like abusive relationships. So.
Oh, I wouldn't. I struggle. I just see that so often. I just struggle with that kind of thing.
You know, romanticized. It's similar to Sarah J. Maas. Same vibe.
Oh, okay.
But anywho, I guess we should do a sprint, I guess.
I might like walk on my treadmill while I don't know. No, I feel like that's too much. No, I'll try. I'm going to try and walk on my treadmill slowly while I do day job stuff for this. Oh my gosh. Sprint.
Nice.
Because clearly I can't even freaking talk, so I'm not going to be able to write.
Yeah, I'm too tired. Like, so I'm just gonna. Oh, I also want to check on our broth situation, because I was gonna try to make a new recipe for Butter's food, since she needs to upgrade. But then she ate her food normally today, and I'm just like,
serious? She really just had a craving for like red meat, I think. And was like, all right, I got all the things I need.
Yeah.
I don't have to starve myself anymore.
I don't like, she just ate her food normally today. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So I was like, I looked up all these recipes. I was going to make her crock pot dinners and stuff. Mm-hmm. And then she ate her food normally today. So I'm like, well, what the fuck? But anywho, I was going to work on my newsletter today, but I think I'm fucking tired. I got 5 hours of sleep last night. For when I was in college, 5 hours of sleep is no big deal. But now that I'm rickety and old, I need 10 hours of sleep.
I like whenever you use the old way.
I need at least 10 hours of sleep. Like I
seriously like I used to really need like 8 or 9, but like let me see what I got last night. Last night I also got 5 hours of sleep last night. And the night before that, I also got 5 hours and another 5. This is stupid.
Fuck that shit.
No wonder I was so like frazzled today. I get significantly less like able to handle shit as I get tired. I think that's everyone, but I didn't do that to like compare. I'm just doing.
How dare you evil
I feel
bitch.
You. I cannot wait for you to get your present. I can't wait. I'm sorry. It just reminds me of like I really hope it doesn't come across as like this is an inside joke. It's not like
I will not think it's mean unless it says like, "Dear Jenna, I secretly hate you." And Like
No,
I
no. It's so funny because I didn't feel this way about the cunt mug at all. But I'm like, I hope she knows it's a joke whenever I ordered this one like
I
2
sent
weeks
you
ago.
a poo shirt, and I was like, I hope she doesn't think I'm making fun of her.
I need to wear that one. It was funny because, well, I was gonna say, oh my gosh, I almost overshared. It's funny because I got on a day.
So it was a good omen.
It was great.
Trying to encourage. Butters did the dog equivalent of opening the fridge and deciding the food on hand wasn't for her. And so,
Yeah,
exactly.
yes. She's like,
You have no idea. I was talking to Iona and I almost had a panic attack.
No,
it's so
fair.
out.
I would have too. Like I was like outsider looking in. I'm pretty sure she's fine. But if I were in your shoes, I'd be flipping out.
Yeah, like my baby, What
You're
does Butters
wasting
think?
away before my very eyes.
She's never seen the snow. Butters has never seen the snow.
California, baby.
California love. She's a California baby. She's never seen the snow. She's very lucky. I've only seen the snow twice, and that's enough for me. Never again.
Mhm.
Never again will they dare to call me. There's a song lyric. I'll spare you guys. Okay.
Amazing.
We're going to do a sprint. What is everyone going to work on? I'll go first. I'm going to do chores. I'm going to start with the trash because that's the easiest. And then maybe make my way to the fucking dishes.
God,
That's what
I
I'm.
hate the dishes. I got big rubber gloves that go up to like here for the dishes, and now I'm okay.
Because you don't like the feeling.
The touching of it.
See, I don't mind the touching. I'm just very impatient, and when something's like stuck on the plate, I'm just like, fuck this shit, just throw the plate away. But I used to work, I was a barista, and we had to do a lot of dishes and touch a lot of gross soggy stuff, so I'm like used to that.
Literally my first job was me being a dishwasher at a fucking nursing home.
Oh no!
And I had to go into. They used to send me. They're like, send in the little one because I started working there when I was 14 years old.
Oh.
So like, send in the kid. So like, if someone threw their dentures in there by accident, they turn off like with this big power switch that looks like Frankenstein's laboratory, and they'd send me into the garbage disposal. And I'd have to root around in there. No, I should be over it. I will never be over it. I can't touch gross stuff.
Oh my gosh. When Cliff was in the assisted living facility, which is basically a nursing home, his roommate would leave his dentures in the bathroom, just chill in there, like not covered or anything, just chill in there. I'm like thinking, how much like
the
poop
flushing,
particles? All of your dentures, and it was very strange when I hear. Sean's wife is going to do dishes with me in solidarity. I appreciate that,
That's
Becky.
very nice.
Thank you so much. You're very, very sweet. So, friendly reminder, we will be muted. I will not be providing a prompt for you. Work on whatever it is that you need to work on. We will be starting the sprint right now. Oh, hello. We're starting a sprint. Do you want to bless the sprint with your little do the thing? Hi.
Do the thing?
Hi. No? You're just going to stare at me? Okay, that's fine too. You're so cute. All right, folks. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, go. All right, folks, how did everyone do? I did great. I did all of the trash and recycle, and I did all the dishes too. And literally, the timer went off right after I finished pouring myself a glass of wine. The wine is undoubtedly a mistake because I have not eaten yet today. Iona is indisposed, but she will be back. But yeah, I haven't eaten yet today, so you guys are probably gonna witness me acting like a doofus because this shit's gonna be potent. Let's see how everyone else did. 289 word-like things. Hey, that's all we can hope for, are word-like things. Called my dad. Very nice, very nice. You know, look at those pectorals. I love Campfire Vampire in part because we love to see the pectorals. I haven't even had the wine yet, and I'm already a doofus. 198, fantastic. 1.5 more character outlines to go, fantastic. I got about a third of the laundry folded and put my puppy in bed. Oh, love it. 569. Witness me. Bought skincare on Amazon and wrote 110 words. I have some of the skincare that I like to use in my Amazon shop, I think. Let me give you guys the link to that. Just obviously you guys don't have to use the skincare I use, but just that skincare can be expensive. And so I found some stuff that I really like that, you know, so you're not spending like $800 on something, but here you go. Let me see if I have if it's updated, because I've got self-care and wellness. I've got beauty, writing, books, and YouTube essentials. Self-care and wellness, that's stuff that I like. You know, the L-theanine and L-lysine is good if you have like anxiety. It can help with that. I have like noise canceling headphones, a massage gun, the red light therapy.
Also ADHD for L-theanine, by the way.
Oh, there you go. Hello.
Hello.
And then under beauty, I think I have skincare stuff. Yes, I have 2 of the masks I really like and a bunch of nail polish that I like and stuff like that. Boop-a-doop-a-doo. Yeah. Anywho. I put Kahlua in my coffee. I definitely put so much that could be okay, good. I'm not alone in my doofusism, whatever. Doofuses. I just like listening to Jenna, Iona, and the rest of the people. People here are so fun. Oh, thank you. 1,384 words.
Damn.
Tell me your secret. Let's see. Let's see. Most of the words are probably barely considered words with all the typos. Hey, whatever works. Hyde's glass of dark rum. You guys are making me feel better. Thank you. All right, guys, send in your questions or we can play a game. Let's play a game. I'm looking at my to-do list.
I keep yawning, which is actually a good sign. I just feel bad because now it looks like I'm like,
why are you so bored with me?
I'm so bored. I walked and I feel a lot better, and I actually got a ton done while I was walking, so I feel way
good.
Better
Yeah, I got a lot done during that break. Basically,
good.
I have all of upstairs tidied for the house cleaners to come tomorrow, but now all of downstairs is tidied, so I'm done.
That's
so
wonderful.
Cliff he has a little cart that we got him for all of his like medical stuff that he can push it from room to room. It's fantastic. Actually, let me see if I can find it on. Let's see. We ordered it on Amazon, but I got it for him and he loves it. But he wants to consolidate it. So that's for him to do and me to cheer him on. Let's see.
That's awesome.
Where is it? These are just ink cartridges. That's not what I mean. Well, I can't find it, so whatever. Anywho, everyone submit questions or we'll play a game. I want to play a game. Someone says game.
I have it ready.
Oh, this is a kind of funny story.
Yes.
Dude, I'm already slurring. I haven't had any wine. It doesn't matter.
That's like when I was drinking out. So someone for my birthday got me like basically it's very like wine mom coated wine tumbler, but it says witch's brew on it. It's so basic. But I just put my smoothie in here, and the whole time I was drinking it, I was like hiccuping and stuff, and I was like, this is not a fun drink. It's not like there's no reason for me to be struggling this much.
Oh no. Someone said we should play a drinking game. Yes, you can play the game. It's kind of a funny story. We answer questions, and you guys are welcome to answer the questions as well.
Yes.
So let's go ahead and play.
When was the last time? Oh my God, I'm sorry. You felt butterflies.
Do
they have to be good butterflies? Because it was today if it was bad butterflies.
Yeah, I've never really related to the feeling of butterflies. Well, because they always say it's butterflies in your stomach. I don't know that feeling. Like
I think it's the flip-flop feeling. Like, you know when you go downhill on a roller coaster? That like
I don't get a flip-flop feeling in my stomach. If my stomach is moving, it's because I'm gonna throw up, you know.
Oh, that's upsetting.
Like I don't know when I feel like nervousness in my chest. I don't feel it in my stomach.
Oh.
So I've never related to the butterflies feeling. The closest thing I can think of is like what I would call like the sparkly feeling, the fireworks feeling, because a lot of people equate butterflies to like feeling so excited when you're with a guy. And that would be my first
I feel like that whenever like where you're like, oh, I can't even eat, but sometimes that goes with like not good feelings too.
Yeah, usually people refer to butterflies as like excited.
Romance. Oh, yeah.
Okay. So based on what I think they're asking, it would be my first date with Cliff. But I don't get butterflies in the stomach like that. That's something I've never related to that symbology. If my stomach is moving, it's because I'm about to shit or throw up, you know? So it's not a happy feeling. And I feel like if your stomach is like all out of sorts, you're not excited, you're scared. Like I feel like neurotypicals don't understand basic shit.
They don't. I think if they mean like attraction, I think I'm feeling like I felt like that with like my husband the first time I met. Not the first time I met my husband. The first time I realized I was attracted to my husband, and that was the whole story about him loosening his tie and rolling up his sleeves.
The arm
I was like,
story.
Oh my, so attractive. What is this feeling? And
that's my first kiss with Cliff is the only time I understood the whole like fireworks feeling, because I just felt like I could only describe it as almost like carbonation in my chest, like all like flittery.
It's interesting that it's in your chest. Mine is low gut. Low.
Like for me,
like I might poop.
Yeah, bowel turfine.
Yeah.
For me, it's like if I'm feeling it in my stomach, it's like, okay, time to shit. Like I'm gonna it's not a good thing, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah.
That's funny.
I'm not Farah or whatever gets the watery bowels all the time. Fucking Sarah J. Maas. But anywho, next one.
The next one is dumb, so I'm skipping it, but I'm reading it so that like it's like who would be friends with people like this? But point like if this was in a big group, point left or right, who would ruin a wedding by making it all about them? And it's like, ew, I wouldn't be friends with someone like that.
Right.
Bad. Could you imagine wasting your time if you knew like someone would do like I can't.
Yeah, like if they're that type of person, I wouldn't invite them. Stay together, cheeks. Stay together. Exactly.
How did you get your most memorable scar or injury?
The most I'm easily scar because of just the kind of skin type I have. So like, but a lot of my scars that I've had are now fading. I have the very residual, like you can barely see it only if you look close, residual scar here. But for a long time, it was this long line down my hand and it looked like I had gotten in a fight or something. And literally it was just from cleaning beneath an espresso machine as a barista. And the espresso machine just scratched my hand. It didn't like get deep or anything. It just scratched it. And
That's so
one
interesting that you
one
make
time I
fun
hurt
of
my
that.
lower back and Cliff put an ice pack on it, and I got a scar from an ice burn.
Whoa.
Like I scar really easily. But the most memorable injury I would say I had, because it was so fucking stupid, is I got a scar right here. It's gone now, but I had a really deep scar for a long time right on the bridge of my nose where my glasses sit. Why, you ask? Well, it has to do with the glasses.
Your skin is just existing and it doesn't like being touched.
No, something happened. So my boyfriend at the time, Sean, had just
Hmm.
gotten his wisdom teeth out removed. So
Hmm.
I was like taking care of him and playing nurse, and I bought him milkshakes, and we were going to watch movies together.
Hmm.
And we were going into the room to watch movies, and he decided to be sweet and silly, and he dives onto the floor between my legs and lifts me up onto his shoulders. Very
Hmm.
cute and sweet, right? Except he forgot there was a beam.
Ah.
And my face just went boom right into the beam. The bridge of at the time my frames were metal. I had metal frames, and the bridge of my glasses, very thick. He hit my face so hard that it dug straight into my nose and split the skin open. And
I
he
hope
laid me on the
he
floor. He's like,
super apologized and was like really upset because
he's like,
that
I'm
was
so
stupid.
sorry. Yeah, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And my forehead hurt from hitting the beam. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh. And the look on his face, he's like, and I'm
'Cause
like,
I'm sure it bled a lot.
yeah. I'm like, am I bleeding? And he's like, and I was like,
Ah,
and he goes,
ah,
not there.
ah.
And then I take off my glasses and I touch and I look, and it's just like so much blood. I go, hey, we called him Lombi. I was like, Lombi! And he goes, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. And I rush into the bathroom, and it's just the gushing blood. It's like totally
Ah.
split open. And I had to go to work the next day, and I just had this giant scab and bruise, right? And I worked in retail right in the center of my face. And people were like, how'd that happen? I'm like, my boyfriend did it. And he was like, please stop telling people that. I sound like I beat you, but I was just fucking with him.
Mhm.
But yeah, I left a scar there for a long time.
Mhm.
But I'm pretty sure it's gone now. Let me look. But that was when I was 19. Let me see.
I haven't noticed it, but also I get it if it's there and I didn't notice it.
Oh no, like I mean, I know it's got, if it's still there, it's gotten really faded. But no, it's gone.
Okay.
But I mean, this isn't the best camera quality, but still, it's gone. Because it was like a pit, but it never bothered me. Like it
Well, you're
wasn't
gonna
like,
wear your glasses there anyway, so it's
well,
not
I don't.
like.
I used to. I only wear my glasses around the house when
Mm,
I leave the house. So I used to wear contacts every single day.
okay.
But sorry. Uh, questions. But so like it was there. But I'm not one of those people who's like very embarrassed of scars. It's not like I was disfigured. It was like the width of my fingernail. Like, who cares? Like, so I'm one of those people where like some people, they get like, so I don't care. There's a scar. It was just like a little white mark right here.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't give a fuck. I was a fucking model in the next year. So
Yeah,
like
you're like,
clearly it did not affect anything. I was
no,
modeling the next year. So
yeah.
but it was just a really funny story. What about you?
I have two that are memorable. So, like, one I just got last year from getting surgery, and it's only memorable because I make keloids. So my scars are thick as hell and real shiny and stuff. And it's just so funny because the reason it's memorable is because my babo, every time she sees it, is like, Mama. She says belly button really weirdly, but she goes,
Mm.
Mama, it's your belly button. And I'm like, no, that's not my belly button. And she's like, because I have like the from getting my gallbladder removed. And
Mhm.
she's like, oh, Mama, it's your nipple. And I was like, no, it's not. Because it's so like thick and raised that it's like
Mhm.
its whole own thing. I was like, it is just a scar. And she goes, okay. And then she goes, it's a boo-boo and you need a band-aid. I was like, all right, we need to move on from my stomach. We're gonna move on from my stomach. And then the other one that's memorable is my toe. And that's the one where I had surgery from that weird surgeon that I was telling, like that I brought up that one time.
Right.
Remember where he tried to get everyone hooked on things and then there was this
Yeah.
whole scandal and like, oh my God. So that one's also memorable. So those are my two.
We love to see it. We love weird surgeons. That's a joke.
Weird sex ring creating
Right.
surgeons
Weird,
who
disgusting surgeon.
die on their stepdaughter's wedding dress the day of her wedding. Sorry, that's not funny. He was just a horrible person. He's a horrible person.
Well,
Oh my gosh. What I don't understand these questions. Like this one, we might have to. I seriously don't understand it to the point where like we might have to skip it. But what story from your life comes to mind when you hear indulge? And I think of this. This is not. Don't worry, it's nothing bad. But that's the only thing that comes to. That's the only thing that comes to mind.
I forgot all about that. Oh
And that was like, I think I'll indulge in myself. I'm like, wow, you fucking suck as a human, but like that's what it reminds me of.
I kind of want to share the story.
You can if you want. I mean, I don't care.
What was it? What were they? What was it for? Was it because I released a book?
You released your book. Like you
Uh-huh.
released your book. So I can't. Oh my god.
We were thinking of, so there was this person in Cyber Central who's no longer in Cyber Central, and they're now in that other group where they just like talk shit about me, which is totally in keeping with their character. But it was this person who was very like passive aggressive. It was constantly creating arguments, and no one really liked them. So because they were just like mean. They were not
mean.
nice.
They were a mean person.
And
like, oh my god.
And just very bitter. But I released, I think it was Shut Up and Write the Book. I released Shut Up and Write the Book. It was my release
It was
date.
Shut Up and Write the Book.
And I think like I got cookies or something. Like I was, this was my release day, and people were congratulating me and being really, really nice to me. And this person like kind of steamrolls into Cyborg Central and is like, I think we should all celebrate ourselves on this Jenna's book release day by indulging in a sweet dessert or something. Like
The weirdest. It was
so like
so
she wanted everyone to celebrate themselves on my book release, and she was saying, this is the dessert I'm going to have to like celebrate me on Jenna's day. And it was one of those things where like obviously I don't care if you guys want to have a sweet dessert on my book release day, but it was like
the way it was presented was like, stop talking about yourself.
Jenna. Yeah.
We all have things to celebrate, Jenna. Shut up. And it's like, what are you talking about?
And all it happened was people were like coming in and congratulating me because I had just released a book and it was doing really well. And I was like, thank you. Like I'm gonna have some cookies.
Multi-list bestseller. Like,
yeah. And she was like, she like came across as like very like offended that people were like congratulating me. She's like, let's all like, I'm going to have this to celebrate me. Like, I'm just like, it was just very strange. So that was the story. And we forever, we just would forever like reference this, me and Iona, because like people were DMing me like, what the fuck? This is so weird. And I was like, I don't know.
It was so weird. It was the strangest reaction. I think the only way it could work is if it's like, oh man, I want to celebrate too. I'm also going to make cookies or whatever. Right. I wish I could have it with you. We're having a party for you.
Like let's do a digital celebration or something, and we'll all have our own wine at our own house or something.
Yes,
but it was very much like
sense, but it was not phrased that way.
Yeah, it was phrased kind of like, this is for me, And
I have wins too today on this random Tuesday. Like,
right.
Okay. Okay, so that's what I thought of indulge, because that was such an odd word that they used, but that's fine. Okay, this is an everyone answer question. Okay. Who is your celebrity doppelganger? I don't have one. Someone said Katherine Heigl before, and then someone else said Steve Tyler, and it made me mad. It's because my hair was
Tyler.
Because my hair was frizzy that day, and they're being really
just
mean.
Being an asshole. Yeah, I can see Katherine Heigl for like the face shape.
Yeah, it's the cheeks.
Growing up, I always got Anne Hathaway, especially because for a long time we had the same hairstyle.
I totally see that.
I think. Hold on. I think I look like Christy Carlson Romano.
I know who that is, but I just can't like.
Yeah, Christy Carlson Romano. I think I look like her.
Ooh, yes. Oh man.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Whoa, you do, except for you're an awesome person and she is annoying.
She is?
Yes. I
What'd she
can't wait to.
do?
Oh, all right. I'm trying to like, I did an autistic deep dive onto her and all of her issues. So she keeps trying to make fetch happen. Basically, so she's been really mean girl and like really upset that there hasn't been a reboot of Boy Meets World. And
You
she
mean Even Stevens?
not sorry, not Boy Meets World. Even Steven, sorry. I was
Uh,
thinking Even Steven with Shia LaBeouf in it and stuff.
yeah.
And then she like, yeah, I'm still friends with Shia and all that stuff. But then Shia's like, I've literally not talked to her in a while. And also, why would you ever want to say that you talked to Shia LaBeouf ever? So she
That's so
just
weird because I saw a podcast interview with her where she said that she's not friends with Shia and that he doesn't keep in touch with anyone from Even Stevens.
interesting.
Maybe
She's
this is like
being
old
annoying.
drama and things have changed since then. I don't know.
I know that she's been more realistic after they're like, we will not reboot Even Stevens. Like, we are not
Maybe I
doing it.
probably am familiar with the more newer stuff, but
Okay, because she was being actually, yes, it was because she was being ridiculous during COVID as well.
oh,
It's,
okay,
it's
okay.
nothing. It's nothing as bad as like
Like Shia LaBeouf.
no,
Yeah.
no, it's nothing like that. She just is really annoying
hmm
with her presentations of things and she constantly she's just very like it reminds me of people who are like, oh, the good old days back in high
Uh-huh.
school, because for
Peak.
her high school was peaked. She peaked.
Yes.
She doesn't need to peak though. Like, she doesn't need to peak. She
Yeah.
doesn't need to peak at all. But like, yes. So Chrissy Carlson Romano, you do look a lot like her. She's so
hmm
beautiful and you're so beautiful. I'm glad
Thank
you're not
you.
annoying.
I get I'm
Oh my
trying to
gosh, people are comparing Chrissy Carlson Romano with Anne Hathaway and how they look similar. So
oh
that's really funny.
I get Paget Brewster a lot.
I think she's gorgeous. I don't think you look like her though.
I don't think I look like her either, and I think the people who think that I look like her are just like,
They've never met a
"You're a
dark-haired,
brunette, and
dark-eyed
she's a brunette."
person. Yeah, I think she looks like a painting. Like, I think she's really pretty. Um, but I really don't think you guys look similar.
I also used to get Eva Green a lot, and I don't think I look like her, and I take offense, but I would rather look like her than Paget Brewster.
Really?
Mhm.
Oh, Eva Green. I wonder if it's like some of her style, like red carpet style that I'm
It's
seeing.
because she's pale and she's got the hair draped over one shoulder and it's dark.
Mm. Yeah, because you don't look anything like her.
She's just,
Man, I
you
wonder if I
know,
think Paget Brewster is really pretty because I like someone with like a strong jaw. She's very like squared off. Um, and same thing with like, I think Mariska Hargitay is really pretty, and she also has a strong jaw and is really squared off. So I wonder if that's why I'm like, they're so beautiful. Like,
I do not share the sentiment, but I respect your I don't think they're ugly. Like I don't
no,
think they're I just don't think they're beautiful or anything like that.
that's so funny.
Um
Well, that's fine too because I'm starting to find my type,
mhm.
and
But I
it is
also
yeah. Go ahead.
the women that I think are like super beautiful are usually not white. So, and they're white, so.
Yeah, that's true.
But
That's
anywho,
true. I'll send
onward
you.
and
Can I
upward.
send you a picture of a lady that I thought was really pretty? Because you know how I'm like attractiveness blind. So usually, like if I can tell someone's pretty, I'm like, whoa, there's something like
Mhm.
something about them. There was this lady. Hold on, I'm gonna see if you think she's really pretty. Um, hold on, let me find her name. Um, oh my gosh, what is her name?
If you know what she's in, you can just say,
She's part of the she's the woman who sings "This is the rhythm of the night," but she's part of the group. Um, but I can't. Hold on. Oh my god. All night. Oh yeah. By Italian Eurodance act Corona. Hold on. Who is Corona singer?
Olga
Man.
Maria de Sousa.
Uh maybe
The other members are men, so.
in model Olga Maria de Sousa. Yeah, Olga Maria de Sousa. Yeah. Yes. But I'm looking up her pictures and
she's pretty.
Okay. Cool.
I think she's really pretty.
Good. Okay. Look at me. I have taste. Some of her pictures are kind of strange.
She's got like a really beautiful smile and very sparkly eyes.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like some people, they just have eyes that are just like, bing!
Yeah.
She's got that.
Yeah. I saw her singing Rhythm of the Night, and I was like, whoa, who is this woman? And it was like her from back, like, you know, and I was like, oh,
yeah. Are you thinking of Fergie?
No.
I think that's a joke, but that's...
Oh, okay. I was like, no.
Oh my gosh. Free range female, why are you doing this to me? Leave me alone.
I think you look the most like oh my gosh, I almost said Katherine Heigl. Jesus Christ. I can't. Anne Hathaway.
I don't think I look like her as much anymore. I did a lot in college. I think now I look more like Christy Carlson or Romano.
I think you look like a mixture of the two, but I think out of the two, I think you look more like Anne Hathaway. But that's fine. And I think I don't look like anybody. I've been searching for my doppelganger. But certain pictures at certain angles of Katherine Heigl's face, I could see.
Yeah.
Someone once said that I look like Beyonce, and I was like, first of all, I fucking wish. Second of all, it's like a mixed person's like
go-to.
Yeah, like where they're like, oh, you're mixed, like you look like Beyonce, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, have you not seen Beyonce?
I get what they're saying though, because Beyonce has an oval face shape. It's the face shape.
It's the face shape. Well, the skin and the hair aren't matching.
Right, but it's the face shape. You have the same face shape as her.
I'll take it.
This is true. I do look like Gemma
Moreci.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my God.
Beyonce,
funny. God. Okay. What's the craziest backhanded compliment you have received? I know I've gotten a ton and you've gotten a ton, but my brain is not telling me anything right now.
There's one the first one that came to mind, because it still haunts me. There was an influencer. I don't know if they're still out influencing, but they gave the Savior's Champion 5 stars and said that they loved it. And then, you know, sent me their review, and they referred to it as trash that they love, kind of like Taco Bell, how like, you know, it's bad for you but you love it. And I was like, what is that supposed to mean?
Ew.
You know,
also, like sending someone your review when it's that gross.
Well, I think they saw it because all they did was compliment it, but there was that line, and I'm like, is it trash? Because
I think it's trash because it's romance. I bet.
That is my hope. But they didn't elaborate on it on that point. They just said how much they love it, you know? Maybe
it's trash because it has sex scene, like it's sexy.
Well, it doesn't have any sex scenes. But it was because maybe it's because it's tropey. And this was before romantasy became really big. So maybe because it was one of the first kind of romantasy books.
Yes.
But I just remember being like, thanks for the 5 stars, you know, but it was like, you know, they were like, you know, like one of those books where it's trash, but it's my trash, you know? And I'm like, and I think at the time, I think given that's because they didn't explain that, and everything they gushed about, they're like, I just love the romance and stuff. And I think it was one of those, like, I'm a cool girl, I don't usually like romance, but I like it this time kind of situations where, you know, like, I think it was one of those things. But I just remember being like,
stuff. Yeah, that's what it sounds like to me, because it sounds like there was nothing that they said that was actually like saying it was trash or trashy.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, so it was one of those things, you know. If TS yeah, and the thing is, it's like, I've had people say that, but they gave it 1 star and they're like, it's not enough world building, I prefer Brandon Sanderson. And it's like, well, yeah, that's not the kind of book this is, but, you know, maybe go read that kind of book. That way I would understand, but 5 stars, and it's like, can you elaborate? So I think it was the romance angle, because most of the books they read were not romance. So I think that's what it was, but like I said, all they did was gush about the book except for that one line, and I was like,
very strange.
Yeah.
That's okay. They're trying. I guess the one that comes to mind is like that kind of comes up a lot is like the bravery line or like the confidence line that really gets
Hmm.
me where like that comes up somewhat frequently where it's like, oh, it's so brave of you to live like that, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Thanks.
Or like, oh, I could never be as confident as you when doing like XYZ thing. And I'm like,
It's like,
oh.
okay,
And it's always about like something like, I don't know, like personal or like that I'm celebrating or something.
right,
And then it's like, oh, you're really trying to pee on this, aren't you?
right.
I'm pee repellent, but shame
Yeah.
on you for trying.
What this isn't so much a backhanded compliment, but it reminds me of the people who tell me like, Jenna, you're so strong and you're so resilient. And I'm like, thanks. The only other alternative was to kill myself. So like what do you want me to do? You know, it's like
Yeah.
either die or be resilient because those are the only two options I have. So
Yeah. It's like, I don't
you're
know how you got
you're so
through it.
strong.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, if I wasn't strong, I would be dead.
Yes.
So what do you want me to do?
So,
That was my only choice. But anywho,
yeah.
people are awful, especially the neurotypicals.
Today I feel that way, so I
Yeah.
agree. um, oh, what's your favorite quality about someone here? This is perfect for your birthday.
Ah,
I like how intelligent you are because I'm going to sound like a total dick. I would not be able to be friends with someone who wasn't very smart. I'm so sorry. So
oh,
you're so smart, and I like your intelligence level. I love your writing style. I like how you lift people up. You're very empowering and inspiring. I love your creativity. Oh, I just think you're so cool.
thank
And happy
you.
birthday.
Thank you. I was gonna say my favorite thing about you is you just have this quality where it's like I was in like a kind of a bleh mood today, and then I
Oh,
hop on the screen,
clearly
and
so is
when you're around
that.
Iona, you just immediately feel good.
Oh,
Like you just have this.
good.
You're just like a ray of sunshine,
Oh,
Even
thank
and
you.
you could be talking
Hey, I'm
about like
wearing a
I had
sun.
the worst day, I had a meltdown, da 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 da. You could be talking about poop or something or things that normally I would not like you know be like interested in, but you just have that you make it good.
You make your bowels interesting.
Yeah, I don't know how to explain it. It's just like you have an infectious aura
Oh,
of
thank
of
you.
positivity and joy, even when what you're talking about is not
It's
joyful.
horrendous. No, because
It's just like I know I think it's because like I know so many emotional vampires and so many
mm,
people who just suck the life out of you. Whereas
hmm,
I feel like you are like the perfect friend for an introvert because it's like you bring life to the situation.
thank
Instead of
you.
sucking the life out, you like revitalize. You're like a battery,
I'm
you
as
know?
close as to making people an extrovert as possible. And I'm not an extrovert. So it's so funny that you say that though, because a lot of people will tell me that I'm an extrovert. And I'm
A lot
like,
of people think I'm an extrovert.
yeah.
So, and a
Oh,
lot men love to tell me you're not an introvert, Jenna. You're an
that's
extrovert. When
what
I,
no, and when I say people, I mean men. I
yeah.
wonder why that's a thing. Why I don't know. Maybe they don't want to think that we don't like talking to them or something.
I don't know. But either way, I could go on and on, but that is my favorite thing about you. You're like there's just something, you're magnetic and you're like a battery and
Oh, thank you.
you just make people feel good. And you could be like, we could like sit around and talk shit, but I feel like good after. I'm like, yeah, da, da, da. You just have that vibe.
Yeah,
You're
thank
just very
you. And
like,
the thing I keep alluding to with Jenna today, and I don't know if she said it or whatever, but I basically got bullied at work today, and I had a fucking meltdown over it and like cried a lot. And then I was like, I was very like, if it were a TV show, I would be like running in slow motion with like tears, like just like I can't make it to the stream today because I was so upset. And so then I told Jen I wouldn't be there. And then I felt better like an hour later. And
I
then
just
I
like,
forgot that it was your birthday stream. Like I didn't forget that it was your birthday, but I forgot like the timing because your time sense turns off when you're angry and upset. And
right.
so I was like, I can't possibly do this today. I'm very, very upset and angry. And then then like 2 hours went by. I'm like, never mind, I can do it. Hopefully you don't hate me. And also I'm joining. But that's why whenever she's saying like, you know, even if I'm feeling blah today, and I'm like, yeah, like I was not good about that.
Well, I meant like
she
I
said,
was feeling blah today
yeah.
earlier, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to do the stream by myself, but that's okay. I understand. And
Mhm.
then I was feeling blah, and I was like thinking, I'll just make it a 1 hour stream because I just don't feel good. And then you join and you're telling me about your crappy day, and I'm like all chipper all of a sudden, you know, like you just have that energy. Like there's just
Thank
something
you.
you're the opposite of an emotional vampire. You're an emotional uplifter. And you guys don't know, but before streams, a lot of times we like spill tea. And she'll be telling me about like the most heinous person, and I'm here like, well, walking on sunshine. Like there's just a vibe. There's just a positive vibe. There are other amazing things about Iona, but that's my favorite thing.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, TM.
Now I feel like I made it about. Now I'm doing my thing. Now I feel like I made it about me.
No, I'm the one who just rambled because I have that autistic thing where I feel like no one understands what I'm saying, so I just repeat myself over and over again.
Okay, as long as I wasn't stealing anything.
No, I
gave you
one.
Intelligent and you're amazing, and then I was like, also that was 3 seconds. Now compliment me for 5.
You gave me like 20 compliments, and I gave you one really long one.
Oh,
so
I appreciate it.
You're both delightful. I had such a bad day, but kept thinking about getting to the stream.
Oh, that's so sweet, especially coming from you, Standard Fiend. You're the best.
Thank you. You two are both wonderful. You're both so insightful and helpful. I don't think my books would have happened. Oh, you're so sweet.
That's not true. You totally would have done it. But also, I'm so glad that you did it. That you published.
Both Jenna and Iona are beyond encouraging in this weekly stream of the Daily CC. It's just life-giving. That's so sweet. Thank you so much.
So
I was gonna say you should tell that to that one group where they're like, Jenna's mean because she told a racist to get out of Cyber Central. So she's awful. She's an abusive person because she told someone to not be racist.
Oh my God.
To not use a slur in Cyber Central. Excuse me. The most fun and funny channel ever. Thank you. You both are very wise and full of great adventures. Thank you. I'm like, can I not have adventures anymore?
Stop. That's like that saying where it's like, if I could stop leveling up, that would be great.
You two are so cute. I love witnessing your friendship. I just want you to come visit, and then like we will film a shit ton of content.
I really want to visit. Like I kind of wanted to do it this year, but I'm also not trying to invite myself over, and I don't know when that would be. But I do want to visit this year.
I would say, I'm trying to think.
Water glugged.
It'll be easier for me to figure out a time once I know the timeline for
publishing.
Yes, How to Write Romantasy. But yes, I do think this year would be possible, if not next year. But then I don't want to be one of those pushes it down.
Oh, you're fine.
We could just pump out a ton of content for YouTube and for like your platform and stuff, and just
we could start the Neurospice Girls. I really want to start the Neurospice Girls. Sometimes like on days like today where I'm like, I just need fucking out of here. I was like, it's fine because we can just start a YouTube channel, because those are so easy to run and start. No one ever gets burnt out on those. So easy. I'm like, we just do the Neurospice Girls and we'll just read like juicy Reddit stories all the time. And that'll be our jobs, and that would be so good.
Exactly. But countdown to JennaCon. Yes. And isn't it gonna be in a garage? We're all gonna dance like that one video. And we're all gonna wear hot dog costumes or something, and Butters will be there. Butters will have the best time. Butters will be you guys just need to know, when you meet Butters, she will bark a lot at you. All you need to do,
but she loves you.
Let her sniff your hand, and then throw her a ball. Oh, she heard me talking about her. Throw her a ball, and she will love you forever, and you will be her favorite person. Yes, I'm talking about
I love hearing her jingle in the back.
Yeah. Butters can DJ. She'll DJ by tootin', by farting. Can I wear the pizza? We have 2 pizza costumes, so you are more than welcome. Hi! Do you want to bless the stream? Hello, look who's here. Hi.
One of the questions is the left or right question. And it
says,
one of the questions, sorry, I'm sifting through while she's being cute. One of the questions is like, point to your left or point to your... She's doing the thing! Everyone, Hello. This is not a drill. This is so cute.
Yes. You silly girl. You wanted attention, I'm giving it to you. Okay, she's running away.
Ran away. I love how she was like a curlicue poof of the tail and was just like... but this one, which I'm not answering,
thank you, John.
Plunger more, is hilarious to me.
What is it?
Who has to use the plunger more? I refuse to answer this question.
We are not answering that one.
We both have IBS, and that's all anyone needs to know. What are you most passionate about right now?
Sleep.
Okay.
But
fair.
And
I would
also
call your writing career.
I mean, I'm most excited about my writing career right now. But I just haven't had a lot of energy to like write actually. But like there are so many big things happening this year that's really exciting. I just wish that I could get over this hump of insomnia, and then I can like get back. Like I'm hoping to get back into edits next week. So there's that, and also like things with Cliff has improved a lot. He's not doing well this week. I think we're both experiencing seasonal depression, so we're both kind of like in a funk. But overall, his health has been so much better, and it's been like really exciting. Like we can, actually do things and like go out and do stuff, and he's just been like, it's just been nice seeing him so much better and get us like his sense of humor back and stuff.
It's him. Like he's himself.
Right. Writers. Oh my goodness. Right. I
don't know.
What about you?
Passionate. I think everyone like I'm going to whisper it to everyone. Hopefully none of my employees are watching, but I really want another
job. No one heard that, guys.
But also if anyone has any leads. And I'll say it really fast so I don't cry, but I think I'm moving. My chapter of being a therapist is closing. I think I'm interested in something else now. So I'm just throwing that out there. But if I talk about too much, I'll cry, even though that's normal. This is normal.
It's normal. Everyone, when one chapter closes and all that jazz.
Yes. No, seriously. So I just feel like it's my time. So
yes.
And I could be someone here's coworker. They're like, ooh. Even better if it's remote. I thrive when working from home.
Yes. That is an autistic
my video
thing.
Resume. Really?
Yes. We do better if we're not.
That makes sense because I'm like, I can wear my stretchy pants that make my guts feel good. And I can go around and I can like make food and like drink a million drinks.
Do things on your own time, not have to deal with
when I'm
small
awake
talk.
at 4 a.m. for no fucking reason. I can do more work and time my emails to 8 a.m. so I don't look like a weirdo.
Yes.
It's great. I do great at home.
Yes.
So interesting.
That's why I like my job is I don't have a boss and I work from home.
I love it. I think that's, Did you know that most people with ADHD, I know you don't have ADHD, but most people with ADHD run their own businesses. I thought that was really, very cool. I was like, look at these little Energizer Bunny entrepreneur people running around doing their shit.
That's so cute.
The next one is, what story from your life comes to mind when you hear naked?
My first thought was the Spice Girls song. Naked. Nothing but a smile upon my face. You want to play seek and hide, no one to hide behind. This child is falling from grace. Don't be afraid to stare, she's only naked. Okay, I'm sorry. That is a throwback from when I was in, I think, 5th grade. That was one of my first CDs, guys, Spice Girls. Okay, now I'm like so distracted. Okay, that was also an autism moment.
Mine is how my babo, I keep almost saying her name. Mine is how my babo says Nakey all the time. And so the other day. I
just thought of something. Sorry.
Oh, go ahead. You
tell your story.
Okay.
Just because you don't want to hear mine.
So I walk down the steps, like between clients or whatever. I walk down the steps and I'm like, oh, hey, how's it going down here? My brother, he's been half living with us and he's been caring for her quite a bit. And so he was, while I'm at work, and he was like sitting on the floor outside the bathroom. And I was like, how's it going down here? Because I heard her like singing and dancing and stuff in the bathroom. She's learning how to go potty and she's doing great and all that stuff. And I was like, how's it going down here? And he's like, well, and then she runs out and she goes, Mama, I'm naked. Yeah. And she's wearing not one piece of clothing or a diaper. And he's like, well, like that. It's going like that. So fun and naked is what's
Mhm.
happening. He's
That's
like
cute.
uncontrollably naked dancing, and he's like, I just don't know what to do at this point.
That reminds me, one time I was visiting my sister and my brother-in-law,
Mhm.
and it was bath time, and we were just hanging out talking, and then all of a sudden Karina and Haley run out naked, and they're like, ah! And then we're like, you guys are naked, and they're like, ah! And they run back. It was so funny. But the story that I thought of was when my grandpa was unwell. My grandpa passed away when I was in my he passed away, I think, the same year that Cliff broke his spine, either
Mhm.
that or the year after. Cliff broke
Mhm.
his spine in September of 2013, so it was like
Mhm.
late 2013. So
Mhm.
I think
It would have been
he
months
passed away
within
in
each other.
early 2014,
Mhm.
you know.
But it was like
Um
months from when
yeah.
that happened. Yeah.
And during, in 2013 and 2012 and maybe a couple years before that, basically my grandpa developed dementia.
Mhm.
And we would visit him once a week. He lived in a assisted living facility, which sounds really sad. But
Mhm.
it's the facility he lived at. This is not relevant at all of the story, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Excuse me. The facility he lived at, is like, you have to be rich to live there. It's run by the Marriott. It's very
Mhm.
fancy. Very
Mhm.
him and my grandma applied to live there. There's a waiting list. So I'm just painting a picture that it wasn't like some hole in the wall. It's a nice place. You know that picture that I posted on our anniversary, Cliff of my anniversary, and you see that
Yes.
picture of me and Cliff
Yes.
standing together and we're
Yes.
dressed nice.
That's my
That's
favorite picture of them all.
that's the assisted living facility.
Wow. Okay.
So you have to dress nice to get into their dining room. Like
Wow.
it's a fancy place, okay? And it's right across the street from Stanford Hospital. So it's I'll oh, well, you can't really tell, but it looks like we're in a hotel, okay?
No,
It's
it
right.
does. It looked like
Yeah.
you were at like a resort or
Yeah,
something.
it was
I
an
really like
old
that
folks home.
picture.
But
That's like my
anywho,
favorite picture.
so we would visit him once a week. Every Sunday we would go and we would play Crazy Eights with him, which if you're not familiar is a card game because it was the only card game he could remember. So every week on Sunday we would visit him and play Crazy Eights. And we
So
did that
sweet.
for years and years and years until he passed away. But
Mhm.
there were several hospitalizations in the mix and he had dementia. So he didn't know what was going on. He didn't know, he didn't know anything. And there was one hospital visit that we went and we visited him. And I don't think this was not the hospital visit when he died.
Mhm.
But it was leading up to that. And he needed to go to the bathroom and he was well enough that he could walk himself to the bathroom. And the nurses were like, okay, like just, wait outside. And there's a call button in the bathroom in case he needs help getting off the toilet, that kind of thing. And
Mhm.
we were like, are you sure? Like, we think he needs help. And they're like, no, it's fine. Like he can press the button if he needs us. And I'm like thinking he has dementia. Like he's not going to remember a fucking button. So
Mhm.
my sister and I are waiting outside the bathroom forever
Mhm.
for my grandpa. And then finally we're just like, we knock on the door, like, are you okay in there? Keep in mind, my sister's a nurse. Okay. So we're like, are you okay in there? And he's just like, blah, 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 like some garbled nonsense. And so finally we open the door and he is like butt naked and like on the floor and
Oh.
needs help getting up. And
Oh
my
no.
sister, who's a nurse, we press the button, and my sister, who's a nurse, hoisted him up because
Uh-huh.
she's got the strength of 1,000 warriors. And
Yes.
I tried. I like got an arm and I couldn't,
Yeah.
But that was the day that I saw my grandpa's nutsack. So, and then the
Happens to
nurses
the
came
best.
in. Oh, we didn't know the person with dementia would need help,
Oh
so
my God.
useless. But at least my sister was there and she helped. So that was my story for naked.
It's like I can be the fulcrum.
Yeah, the day I saw my grandpa's balls and they're in great. I saw them from the back though, so at least I didn't see his dick.
That's good.
I saw his butt and the dangles.
It happens. It really happens. Me
Thank you,
working at the
Candy.
nursing home, I saw many
Yes.
things.
I mean, I saw Cliff's roommate's nuts when he was in assisted living. I saw his roommate's nuts. I've seen so many things at this point.
Yeah.
This is why I don't need adventure in my life. Like I just want to like have a garden. I want to watch the birds. I don't need adventure. I am like a gray ace person and I've seen more nuts than I need to see. Like
You're like, why does it keep happening to me and not any of the allosexuals out there?
Right. Like I'm good. I've seen a lot of nuts. I've seen so many nuts in my lifetime. Okay, continue.
The next one is if your ego were an animal, what would it be? So I think it means like your inner child. Like, I don't know. I keep going to like what animal do you connect with? I don't know. I just feel like I keep going to raccoon or a lumpy bumpy toad, and I just
That's
don't
so
know don't
cute.
know which one to pick.
I can see the raccoon vibes for you for sure.
I think
Like
if I truly want to do it, it would be mammalian, so I'll go with raccoon. Yeah.
mammalian, that's such a cool word.
Mhm.
Hi Butters. Butters is like my inner ego animal is a puppy. Um
I like that they put ego animal and they didn't do the weird spirit animal thing that's
yeah.
like appropriative. So that's good.
I think I feel like a fox is too cool.
What? No, you're totally fox. I was waiting for you to say fox.
I feel maybe a fennec fox because they're a little bit less cool and they're like a little bit more
Oh my
like
god, thank you
derpy.
for telling me that the Fennec Fox video was fake.
Yeah, the kitten at the beginning was a
Was a
kitten.
kitten. I was like, it's so okay. I'm sure
No, I had
everyone
watched
here
that video before and I saw it and I was like, I don't think this is real. And then I looked at the like
in the
looked it up
comments.
and I looked up what a fennec fox puppy looks
Pup.
like and nothing alike. And I was like,
That
oh,
is
this isn't real.
so like media literate, because I did the thing that like I'm sorry, like my mom does this constantly. She does not watch these things, so I can vent about it a little bit. But she'll send me these horrifically like AI or just like botched, like just things cut together. Like, look at this owl they saved. It's like 52 different breeds, but they
That's what
just
my
took
mom
like,
does too.
oh my god,
Oh
where I'm like,
boy.
we know that's not real. And then I just did it where I was like, he saved a baby Fennec Fox. It looks like a kitten. I had no idea. And I just believed it with my eye. Like I just saw it and
Well,
believed
I
it.
wanted it to be real, but also fennec foxes are like pretty much only in Africa, and that looked not like Africa.
Oh yeah, you're right.
But okay, I just sent you something in Cyborg Central that happened today that
Oh,
I knew I wanted to send you,
okay.
but
I'm gonna see
just
it.
to show you that I understand about the mom thing. Please bear with me.
Okay.
So if you hold on. Okay.
Oh my god. Wait. Oh, okay. Because I was like, wait, this is someone else. Like this is something else, but oh my god, I thought this was you responding and it's not you.
No, that's my brother-in-law. That's my
Yes, it
brother.
is. Hold on. The, the last line. The last. Please,
Someone had to say it.
I'm gonna make that my tag. Hold on. I have to do this. I can't. I can't. I have to change. I have to change this. Hold on.
Oh,
Oh
butters.
gosh. Um. Hold on. With the period and everything.
Yeah. It was so funny. But yeah, she sends a lot of stuff like that, and it's just like
I did it.
I'm just like, oh, but anyhow,
Also,
yes,
that person, like, that's not. Yeah, that's not what happened to that person. So.
yeah, uh, yes. I used to joke back when Butter's ears were bigger that she was a fennec fox.
She is
Yeah,
like a
so
fennec
I want to be a fennec fox, so I can be friends with Butters. But I also feel like I'm not cute enough to be a fennec fox, so maybe I'd be a weasel. But they're cute too, so I
They
don't know.
are cute.
I like things that are like bouncy and like blub, 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 blub. But maybe a fox does work because foxes are kind of
Foxes are
shifty, and I'm
super shifty and bouncy. They do the
a
both.
little dangerous, but I'm also cute. So I'll go with a fox.
I love it. Okay. Everyone answer. If you became an overnight celebrity, what would you be famous for?
Books, I hope.
Yeah. No,
Sex tape.
overnight. It has to be
Oh.
like, well, now
Well,
I'm
I could
making
be an
shit up.
overnight celebrity over books, like my book got really popular overnight.
Oh, okay. Because I was going to be like, oh, it's going to be something stupid like the Haktua thing for me.
Oh, well, we can answer both of those. Both
Okay,
of them.
so if
Well, then mine would be books, and the second one would be the shittin'. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, just Google shittin' meme.
Shittin' meme.
And it's the only thing that comes up.
It's Jenna's legacy that will outlive her forever. Wow. So for me, okay, if it's a serious one, I would think it would be really cool if I was like this cool, like ghostly medium and I solved cold cases or something. And it'd be like, ooh, I solved this overnight because I'm like, ooh, I got like I channeled or something, you know. And then, but if it's something dumb, it's gonna absolutely be like me making a face or something that like gets blown out of proportion.
Get a meme.
Yeah.
Make a meme.
Yeah.
All right. I really have to pee. So people send Iona your questions, or we only have a half hour left. Fuck the sprints. I finished all my stuff, so I don't want to do any more sprints. But I know. Do you want to pee too?
They can send it. I can ask the chat a question.
Mm-hmm.
The next one was, how was your high school prom? That probably has some good answers.
Yeah, everyone answer that question. I'm gonna go pee. I'll be right back.
Now I'm in charge. Feel like that kid that the teacher's like, all right, you're in charge. Don't let anyone do anything. And then I become drunk with power, like a hall monitor. But yeah, how was everyone's prom? Mine was wonderful, actually. I skipped my high school prom, no regrets. I wanted to, and I was forced to go. So I don't blame you. I think if I would have skipped it, I also would not have regretted it. I never went to mine. Yep, see, okay, look at us being normal people not wanting to go to prom. I seriously was forced to go. I did feel pretty, and I did wear this dress that had hand-painted peacock feathers on it, and it was really beautiful, and I found it in Pennsylvania, and they were like, I don't know, this is handmade, and we might not be able to let you buy it and take it across state lines, which I was like, what is going on? And the dress, it's not like the dress was like crazy expensive or anything. It was just very unique. And so they had to like ask it was in with like a regular prom dress store. So I don't know what the deal was, but they were like, okay, we talked to the designer and she said you could wear it to your prom in another state. And I was like, what the hell? Okay. But it made me feel extra special because I was like, ooh. So if that was a sales tactic, it worked, I guess. Oh my gosh. It was very uneventful, although I ended up still having to go with my ex because he had my ticket. That's stupid and sucks, but I don't blame him. But I pretty much ignored him the whole time. That's honestly iconic. I never went to prom. It just wasn't my thing. I totally get that. I never got to go, but later I did a recycling class where I helped some girls make trash prom dresses. That is so cool. I like when people work with textiles and like make non-traditional things. So like people who make like a whole dress out of duct tape or trash or whatever, and they end up looking very beautiful. So I think it's very interesting. There was one that was really interesting where she made it out of condoms, and I thought that was interesting.
That's how I returned.
Standard fiend was I never got to go, but later I did a recycling class where I helped some girls make a trash prom dress, and I think that's very cool. Like whenever people make like the
I knew a girl who made a duct tape prom dress.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of too.
It was ugly, but she was very proud of it. That was back when, I'm not saying your trash prom dress was ugly. I'm saying the duct taped one this girl made was
Some of them can be, so there's one that I remember that was gorgeous, and there's one that I remember that was hideous because she used pink zebra striped duct tape, but that was the style at the time. Yeah. Unfortunately,
I know.
So it was like very cool at the time, but then I was like, eh. Also Sean said I also went to Votech and I didn't know any of the kids in my high school. That's honestly so related. Wait, so where I went to school, Votech had their own like dance. It wasn't necessarily prom, and then they also had prom. Now I'm curious what you went to Votech for, because that's very cool.
I don't know what Votech is.
Oh my god, I was just about to like explain it so well, and it's gone. It's where you can go the like junior and senior year to learn. It's like a technical school, so like you can learn a trade school. Oh my god, I was like, it starts with the T. But I kept saying tech in my head. So like at the one that was like a sister school to the high schools in the area was one where you could do like hair electrician or electricity, masonry, like stuff like that.
Interesting. Cool.
Yeah. Do you have stuff like that? Do you have VOTech stuff?
I don't think so. I mean, I would assume if we did, I would
maybe you wouldn't know about it.
Because I know a lot of people who became electricians and stuff like that.
Oh, okay. No,
and
then you would know about it.
Yeah, and they went to trade school, but not in high school. They did it after high school.
Well, electricians are different because you can do that. You can even go to college for electrician if you want to be like a substation one. And I only know this because before my husband, every single human being that I dated was a left-handed electrician. Why? Don't know. I'm like, I don't know why that was like a
maybe
thing.
I missed my calling
To be an electrician?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was like, oh, okay.
My mom just pre-ordered How to Write Romantasy.
That's awesome.
Yeah. She's cute.
She did it now that she's such a relief.
Oh my goodness.
That's really sweet. Oh, we went for commercial art. Oh, that's very useful. I mean, all of the things at VOTech are useful, but that's very cool. And now I'm getting all in Denmarkia. It's not called prom, but King's Ball. I've heard of King's Ball before.
I know that I think it's in Denmark, when they graduate high school, they wear these little, like, they look like sailor's caps to me.
That's fun.
And they like go on this bus and like drink and stuff. I only know this because my stalker told me.
Oh.
So I associate it with creepy stalker, even though it's probably wonderful.
No.
But anywho, next question.
Next question is, oh my God, it's one of those point your finger at things. Describe a time when you were terrified. I don't wanna.
Yeah, these are questions for people who are like Swifties. Like, I was terrified when I wasn't sure if my boyfriend.
I was like, I don't think we're supposed to answer these this honestly. Like, yeah,
right? Because I'm like, I was terrified when I saw Cliff's bone protruding through.
Yeah, like I was like, no, I don't want to answer. Like, should I talk about my last panic attack?
I have CPTSD. Do you want to hear about the terrors I've seen?
Come on.
I was terrified when I was being threatened and abused. Like,
this is one we both can answer because it's from the same stupid group. We don't have to talk about it, but tell us about a time you heard someone gossiping about you.
But I talked about it in the last stream. I still I cannot get over that.
You were being mean to a racist person.
But also the whole, someone comes to me and, and they hire a scam editor who charged 6 cents a word.
That's I did not know it was that much. That's crazy.
I mean, it's been years, so it could be wrong, but I just remember the number 6. And
I'm sure it was 6 cents a word.
And the first line has a typo in it after it's edited. And I read further and there are so many mistakes. And I just say, hey, I just want to let you know, since you are publishing this, I just want to let you know there's still some mistakes in it. And they're like, oh my gosh, thank you so much for telling me. I really, really appreciate it. I mean, I have the conversation saved. I could make this public and embarrass the person if I wanted to. They're like, thank you so much. Like, what do you think I should do? And I was like, I really think that, if it were me, I would go back to the critique board. Here are some critique people I know, and then hire a different editor. I was like, that's what I would do. But like, I just wanted to let you know that this issue. They're like, thank you, I really appreciate it, blah, blah, blah. And then ghost me, never speak to me again. And then they're telling people, oh my gosh, she yelled at me and she got so angry at me because I wouldn't hire an editor she recommended. And it's like, I didn't recommend an editor. I did not yell at you. I did not get mad at you. You never told me you weren't going to hire any particular type of person. I never recommended it. Like, just making up this crazy story about me, all because I warned them that they had gotten scammed and that there were a lot of typos in the thing that they were about to publish. And the thing that they were about to publish.
Things you might want to know.
Yeah, and the thing they were about to publish, they tried to submit it to get into anthologies, and it got rejected. And I actually knew the person who rejected it, and they told me why it got rejected. And guess why? Because it was fucked up, It's got a lot of issues. But yeah, it just I just think back to
that. Where's like gossiping?
Sorry, I just saw what you said. If you're gonna make up a story
a
about
lie, a lie,
at least make it like
a delusion,
believable, and make it something that I can't like completely refute if I were just to show the receipts, But I don't care. Like, I don't care about this person. It's just only the fact that I heard about it kind of recently, and it was just a surprise to me because it was just comical, like I've heard a lot of lies about me because when you're in a public, you hear shit, This was the funniest one just because it was so dumb. Like, I've heard people say like crazy things about me, but they were things that like, oh, I would cancel that person too if it were true, but it's not true. But this is like, this isn't even cancelable, and it's not something a human being would do. So, but yeah.
Nope.
Yeah, no good deed goes unpunished. Yeah, I've learned that just let
people
fail.
Sent me that you sent because you sent me that reel today or maybe yesterday, and it perfectly, because I don't quite agree with that. Well, I feel that way today. So, but I don't always agree with the no good deed goes unpunished, because if you're in a healthy thing, healthy something with someone, whether it's a working relationship or a friendship or a romantic relationship, but you like build each other up, and there's no like punishment, like there's no repercussion for that.
Right.
But when you're with someone that has that much resentment or something, going on,
it really is like that,
It really is no good deed goes unpunished.
Like, you got to be in a friendship or like a romantic relationship with someone who really wants to see you win. And for me, like, if like I want my friends to do well, like I want them to be successful because I care about them, so like if I were to publish something and there was a typo in the first line, I would hope Iona would tell me, so I can fix it.
I'm not as good at finding them as you, but yeah, I'll definitely do it.
But you're the person who pointed out, hey, you didn't know this, but that word is problematic, and I didn't know. Like, and I need to know these things. Like, I would hope my friends.
Because I feel like that's when I first felt like, I'm like, okay, this person's like a safe person, because I know that's such a dramatic thing to say, but it's true. Because I was like, hey, I can't like live with myself if I don't say, because that's when I didn't know you. I was just a beta reading. But I was like, I can't like live with myself if like I don't tell this person. But anyone I've ever told about XYZ like thing, like, hey, just so you know, like this isn't good to use, or hey, just so you know, like there's a typo, even like it doesn't even have to be like racially like anything behind it, and no trauma behind it. But anytime I'd ever told someone that, there was this big defensive reaction, something to it. It made me feel shitty, but then I was like, I can't betray who I am and like not tell the person just in case they actually take it in. And then you took it in, and I was like, whoa. And you're like, oh, thanks for telling me. I'm like, it's very old. Like, people won't notice. And you're like, well, I don't want to perpetuate it, so it's an easy fix. And I was like, what?
I remember. Can I say the word? It's not like a slur, but
no. You can say it now. Like, it's not as bad now. But yeah, go ahead.
Originally, Delphi was wearing a sapphire dress, and sapphire used to be like a not nice term. Word for Black women. And she was, and Iona was like, I know no one's going to make that, that, put those two things together, but I'm just letting you know on the off chance someone does. And I was like, that's I could easily change her
to something else. Yeah.
Just change it to another shade of blue, like it's fine. But I wasn't even like, like for me, it's like I want to know anything that could, that could fuck me up. I want to know if there's lettuce in my teeth. There will never be lettuce in my teeth because I hate lettuce. But you know what I mean? Like, there's lipstick on my teeth. I want to know these things. And so I'm the kind of person where I treat my friends the same way. I'm not going to do it if it's something that like, the book is already published and it's awful. I'm not going to be like, by the way, your book is published. It was published a year ago and you can't change it, but I think it sucks. But if it's something like, hey, like, you're about to publish it, like, just so you know, there's a typo here, like, or
forewarned.
hey, you know,
Yeah.
you're about to walk out the house on a date, just so you know, there's lipstick on your teeth. Like, I want that, so I do that for my friends, and I've just noticed over the years that a lot of people don't.
It's very like shoot the messenger-y when people like don't
Yeah.
listen to that. Very strange.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But anywho,
I'm skipping this one because we both suck at it, but it's everyone must showcase their best dance move. Vote for who can really groove. Absolutely not.
No. My best dance move
I can do
is
this
tap
because
dancing.
of Ehlers-Danlos. Ooh. What?
I can do this because I'm double jointed, but it's not a dance move.
I guess I can kind of.
Cliff calls it my witch fingers. Was it Cliff or was it my sister? Someone called it my witch fingers.
Look at
but this is why I can't hold
witch fingers together.
This is why I can't hold silverware properly when I eat. Is because my fingers automatically do this.
That angle was so swoopy. Yeah. It was like you were like, that's why I can't hold it. And
it looks like AI art. Hold on, I'm trying to. There we go. It looks like AI art. It looks like AI art.
You just have to make your eyes blurry or goopy, and then you're.
But yeah, this is why I can't hold silverware properly. See, I'm not a cyborg. I'm AI. Right, okay, next one. Onward. The wine is kicking in. If you can't tell.
So tell us. Okay, this you won't be able to. You will not be able to answer this question. Sorry, what were you saying?
This wine tastes like something, and I'm trying to figure out what it tastes like.
One time I had wine that tasted like mushrooms, and it was delicious. And I know that sounds gross, but I really liked it.
It tastes like something from my childhood. Like, you know when like it just...
No, I know what you're talking about. Yes. The last time that happened to me, it was someone wearing a particular perfume that was my kindergarten teacher's perfume.
It reminds me of Play-Doh.
Oh.
Because we all ate Play-Doh as a kid, right? It's something. But anywho, continue.
I'm sick of Play-Doh right now. I don't have a speaking relationship with Play-Doh at the current moment. We've got no contact with Play-Doh. I say that, and she just got a whole bunch for her birthday yesterday.
Oh, gosh.
So this one is, you won't be able to answer this question, like at all, but that's fine. Tell us about a time your first impression of someone was incorrect. Literally and never for you.
The thing is, there were so many times where my first impression was bad, but then I was like, oh, they're really cool. And then I was like, nope.
Turns out they were bad.
There's gotta be. Maybe when I was younger and like not as intuitive.
Probably not. Yeah.
Well, the first time I met Alexander, I thought he was dreamy.
Okay.
And then he ended up not being dreamy. So I guess
that's just based off of his physique. Like you're like, oh, you're just like imagining.
Well, we talked, but he was hitting on my friend, which should have, we met a year before we started. We met at a dance. And I was the wingman to my friend, and my friend and him were flirting. And I thought he was dreamy and cute, and I felt kind of like no one's hitting on me.
Yeah.
But that didn't go anywhere. And then a year later, we were reintroduced by a different friend, and it wasn't until him and I had been dating for like a year that I realized he was the guy at the dance.
Oh,
and I was like, I'm dating the guy at the dance who's hitting on my friend.
What made you like that? Like, how did that come together? Because I feel like that's like a moment where you like see him do a gesture or you see him wear a shirt or something and you're like, wait a minute. Or like a late night thought.
Oh, I mentioned her name. And he goes, oh, her name. And it's a very unique name. Her name was Renata. I mentioned Renata. He's like, oh, I knew a Renata. And
then you're like,
oh God, you were that guy. And he was like super cute. I thought he was super cute and really funny. And I was bummed out.
I don't see anything wrong with that. That's still not having a bad first impression.
Yeah, but I mean,
you didn't remember him.
Well, I mean that he had a good first impression, and then he ended up being gross. Well, not gross. The thing about Alexander was, I still to this day, I don't think he was an intentionally bad guy. He just had a lot of problems, and what he needed was extensive therapy.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because I don't feel like
it always pains me to meet folks like that because I'm like, it doesn't have to be this hard. And you are a good person if you do not neglect yourself, because now this is like your mental health has like spiraled to the point where like it's hurting people.
Like once we became adults, because we broke up when I was 18. But then after that in college, you know, we kind of tried to be friends. And the behavior he had in college is when I was like, no, you're a bad person. Because he was basically trying to get back together with me when he had a girlfriend, and I don't want to get back together with you.
I remember that now.
And now he's married to that girlfriend, but that's a whole other thing. That made me think he was a bad person. But when he was a teenager, the stuff he did then, looking back, I hold no ill will. I don't think that behavior was bad. I think he was a kid who really needed extensive therapy. But then once you're an adult and you are in charge of that stuff and you don't seek the help, then I think it's your fault. So the shit he did as an adult, I think is his fault. But the stuff he did as a kid, I'm like, he was an asshole and he was shitty. But I don't think it was intentional. And I think because his parents were very abusive to him. And he wasn't physically abusive to me or anything. Just for context, people, I would describe the relationship as kind of emotionally abusive, but not in a way of like, you're a bitch. Like he never said anything mean to me, but he was very
like guilt trip a lot. Though?
He was very suicidal and very insecure, and he made me feel like I couldn't leave the relationship because he would.
He did emotional blackmail.
Yeah, he was very much like, you're the only thing I have. It was that kind of situation, and so I felt like I couldn't.
It's very
leave.
Codependent.
Yes, there we go. That's
not that you made it, but like he's trying to make it codependent.
Right, and I think he was a sweet guy, and he had abusive parents who treated him like shit and made him, you know, he didn't have anyone, and I was his girlfriend. So he was like, "You're all I have." I'm like blabbering. But anywho,
no, you're fine.
The wine. But anywho,
no, because it was about like the first impression was incorrect, and like we'll count it, but I still don't think that counts because he got like worse. Like that wasn't, you know what I mean? Like him as a kid, like how is that? You can't possibly say that made him like not a good person. Excuse me, making decisions as an adult. Yeah, that's like the closest you got. Now, so I recently went through this where I was being presented at work as something I wasn't. And I thought it was this other coworker doing it. And it turns out it was the coworker telling me about it. And I was like, oh my God, it's the one, it's, you know, the ones I've been struggling with. It's why I hated this one person for a while, thinking that she was tearing into my like character. Turns out it was someone else.
And I know who.
Yeah.
I know who.
I was flabbergasted. I was like, oh, this person's tough to work with sometimes, but like nothing terrible. And then I was like, never mind. I've been bamboozled.
Yeah, thank you, Sarah. I really, really appreciate it.
I think it's Sora.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought that was an A. It's the wine. It's the wine. Thank you, Sarah. Yeah, my problem for a long time, and I've ditched this problem in my late 30s, I've ditched it, is that I would get a bad vibe about someone, and I would tell myself, you are being judgmental, Jenna. You are not a perfect person. No one else has to be a perfect person. I'd be like, Jenna, you're just being judgmental and mean. And I would give the person a chance, and every fucking time they would do the thing. Gut. Yeah, they would do the thing that I was like, this is the vibe that I got. And so now I am a judgmental person, and I'm a bitch, and I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it.
Oh, you're gonna really like your present.
I'm excited.
I'm excited now too, because you're kind of quoting it a little bit. So this next one, do you want to do another one?
Sure.
Okay, cool. What are you secretly proud of? Oh, yay.
Secretly proud of. I'm pretty like vocally proud of the things I'm proud of. I'm proud of my
that's what I was like. I don't think I'm secretly proud of anything, but that's okay. Go ahead, continue.
Oh, would it be? Yes, absolutely. Please cosplay Layla, and please send me a picture, Madison. Please send me a picture. I want to see it. Okay, sorry, the wine.
I think cosplaying is so cool. Cosplaying characters is so cool.
Me too. I agree. Thank you, Kaden. You guys are so nice. Okay, I guess the only thing that but this isn't a secret. I'm trying to think something I'm secretly proud of.
I guess mine's not a secret, but I don't know if proud is the right, it's like a hidden talent, if you can even call it that, would be like, I like listening to things on like 3 times speed. Like a nutso, and then my husband calls it summoning demons because I'll be like listening to an audiobook or like a YouTube video or something, and it's like, and I was like, relaxing and wonderful. And
that feels like, very ADHD coded. So
it is because I found out, like, I saw some people saying like, oh, people just rush through things now and they don't enjoy anything and stuff, and it looks like a little dumpling.
You can keep talking. I just had to show that the bed is sideways, and
sideways. She has her little like cave. But
that's the bed we brought her home in from the shelter when we first got her.
Elevator.
And that's her elevator, and she still loves it. And it's filled with holes, and it's gross, and she still loves it. But anyway, continue.
Some people think that I don't know if it's because I have a fast processing speed. If I even do have a fast processing speed, I don't know. But I just feel like it helps me, because if I don't hear it that fast, I like don't pay attention. Mm-hmm. I still have to do other things while I'm listening too, but there's something about, I just need to speed it up. Because that's like whenever we were listening to a podcast and I was like, that's hilarious. And you're like, I started this sooner. What is happening? I was like, oh, I'm listening to it on 2.5 times speed. I don't like go around saying that, because it also, it sounds obnoxious if you're like, oh, you're listening to that book like a normie. Well, I listen to it faster than the human ear can hear. Like, so I guess that's like my secret. I wouldn't call it pride, but like thing I do.
I think my thing, it's not so much pride, is just sort of like, and what? And this is, but it's also, well, you already know the struggle, but the struggle is like comes from a different place. But sometimes people will like call me an asshole or a bitch, or be like, Jenna's too like direct or forward, and like, remember when someone said use more smiley emojis, like
smile more.
Yeah, for me, I'm not necessarily proud of that, but like I feel no shame in being a direct communicative bitch, and that's one of the reasons why I jokingly refer to myself as an asshole, a bitch, a cunt. Like I don't feel any shame in being direct, and I think that when you shame people for being shame women for being direct, you're just I'm so excited. Sorry. So totally okay, good. That actually like makes me so happy. Sorry, that was an aside.
She's quoting something, and I wanted to point it out. Okay.
Yeah, like for me, I would rather be that than withering flower, Yeah. So for me, I'm proud of being unafraid in that regard. Yeah, I guess you could say.
No meekness or timidness here. It's okay.
And it's gross when it's women who tell you that. It's like,
I know. It's like
we expect it from the men, but ladies, come on, women. Et tu, Brute.
That's funny. Okay. What would be the title of your autobiography? For some reason, I want it to have the word rat in it, and I don't know why. I feel like yours should have rat because you had rats, but I feel like it would be like the rat experiment or something. I don't know.
I feel like mine would be called "Someone Pick This Title for Me. I Have Decision Anxiety."
That would be so good.
Right. I don't care. Just pick the title. That's actually
so marketable. Mine is not marketable. I'm like, I just have rat vibes. Like, what is
rat vibes? Mean? I love that. I would fucking buy that rat vibes.
Or like lab rat or something. I don't know. But
exactly. Don't spew your internalized misogyny onto me. I'm not interested.
Like whenever you were addressing something with someone and someone was like, you should use more emojis so that you don't get misconstrued as being frustrated. It's like, I'm frustrated.
Right. It's like
or whenever I've been told like, you're coming across as very angry, and I'm like, I'm angry.
Right.
And they should know that I'm angry. I'm not being mean, but I am angry.
Also, what I will never get over is neurotypicals being like, if you disagree with them, it's an argument. It's like, no, you can disagree with me. I can disagree with you. That's not an argument. That's just a conversation. That's just two
Oh my
people.
God. Like before, this just happened. So there's that saying, no good deed goes unpunished. Sean, I'm using Sean as an example because he's a good egg. Sean said it. You've said it. I've been told it. I don't super agree with it all the time. No one does. I'm just using that as a. You will have offended me, and I'm like, yeah, I don't think that's true all the time. Same thing with the same thing with the saying, hurt people hurt people. I know what they're talking about. That's not true in my opinion, because there's so many people that are hurt people that do not. And so I'm like, yeah, I don't know. That can happen sometimes, but not really. I just don't know how to feel about it. Not a big deal. And like, but for some reason, both of those examples, not today, but like, or with you guys, but like that has happened where I've been like, yeah, I don't think that's true. And they're like, and I'm like, it's like, are we fighting right now? And it's like, oh my God.
Right. It's
I'm
like
just
that.
sharing something.
It's like when videos, and I'll talk about tropes I dislike, and people will be like, wow, I did that in real life. And no. And oh my gosh. It's like, I'm talking about book tropes that I don't like. It's not
Like,
my
settle
problem
down.
if you made it personal. Go fucking argue in the mirror because I'm not interested. But that's like a neurotypical thing where it's like, if you disagree with them, it's a fight. Or if you like I
It's
just
so yes manny and weird.
yeah, I'm sorry, but we don't have to like the same things, you know. It's just, you know, Iona hates Christmas. I love Christmas, you know, like it's not that big of a deal, you
No,
know. It's
no.
really like Iona is like more cottagecore vibes. I'm more classic vibes. I don't know what the style is. Like we don't have
classic,
timeless classic, you know,
Yeah,
but with a little bit of an edge. Like it's like we don't have to agree on everything, and it's not a fight if Iona says, "Oh, I love this movie," and I said, "Iona liked The Queen's Gambit." I didn't. Iona did not cry herself a river because I didn't like it, and I did not stab Iona through the throat because she did like it. You know, like it's just not that big of a deal.
Rage.
It's just not that big of a deal, guys. You know,
Yeah.
but.
Cute.
Yeah, and see, Cliff
pizza.
loves.
That's where I draw the line. No,
see, kidding. Cliff loves pineapple on pizza. I don't like pineapple on pizza. You want to know how we got around that? He orders pineapple on pizza, and I order pizza without pineapple, and then we just live in harmony. Like
yesterday, she wanted olive pizza. Why a child likes olive, I have no idea. I like them fine, and then they ordered that and pineapple ham or whatever, and it was disgusting. So I didn't eat it. Ah, she's doing the thing again.
Yes, you are, you sweet little girl. Look at her; she's standing.
The
so
angle
still.
of her like arm hairs is in such a way that I thought the bottom of her feet were like coming all the way down, and I was like, "Oh, I think your mom needs to trim those."
No, that's
if
her
I
arm.
have any room to talk, you should see Kachu's bottom of his feet.
Where it becomes a problem is if we're disagreeing on like core values, where it's like LGBTQ plus people don't deserve rights. Like then it's like, okay, well, we're gonna
have
fuck all the way off.
Problem.
Yeah, we're gonna fuck all the way off. Disabled people shouldn't have kids. Remember that?
Oh, that was my last straw.
Mm-hmm.
That person was talking about an actual predator like deciding to have a child, and I was like, what the hell, that's terrible. And they were like, oh, I know, she has such bad heart issues. And I'm like, what are you talking about?
You're not concerned that she's a predator.
The problem? You're not worried about the predator part? Yep.
Guess who?
I don't know if they actually would guess correctly, but
I want to say a clue, but that's only because I'm buzzed.
Don't say clue. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it.
Yeah.
But and then they also said it after they knew like all of my ailments and like that I decided to have a baby and that it was a really traumatic pregnancy. I didn't think it would be. And that's why I'm not having any more babies because I can't. But like, oh my God. And they said that like to me and Jenna.
To be clear, they didn't say disabled people shouldn't have kids. I was just generalizing.
Yes.
But they were talking about a predator they knew who wanted to have kids. And we were like, that's awful because they're a predator. And they were like, I know. They're
They have so many
disabled
physical disabilities.
and they're
we're
just
like,
going to pass it on to the kids. So why, like, they shouldn't have kids. And we were like, that's your
that was at the end though. So
yeah, that's your issue.
We were both pretty like tapped out. And then whenever they said that, I was like, okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, someone said something in Cyborg Central and I'm helping them
okay.
understand.
I will hover and help as well.
It wasn't great, no, but
whoa, Thomas does look like that guy.
Right?
Oh my god, like exactly. I see it.
Mm-hmm. Not exactly, but there's a vibe. There's a vibe. There's a twin ship.
Twin ship. I don't see where I can help in Cyborg Central, but I will.
It was in writing.
Oh.
They said that they want to publish books, but if they go self-publishing, they're going to have to market it themselves. And I let them know
either way, you have to market it.
You have to market yourself.
Yep. Yeah, that's good for them to know.
Chocolate Christ. Okay, I really want to. Here, I'll say the hint in Cyborg Central.
Yeah, just say, yeah. You can bring it up in Cyborg Central. But I think that's fine. That could be anybody.
But I mean,
no. Yeah.
Okay, just let's do one more question, and then we'll close things.
Next question. These are all the left or right ones. Good Lord, the people who made these, very interesting. What needs to be said to clear the air? Say your excuse me because you fucking burped, Jenna, and that'll clear the air. Like, what is that? Like, what? Okay. If you had to spend $1 million on yourself, what would you spend on student loans? Okay, I'm done. Your turn.
There you go.
You have to spend it on yourself.
Okay. they all like they think they know. Sorry,
I knew they wouldn't guess it.
$1 million. I can't think of. I'm so like boring. I'm just like I'd put it in investing.
You would. No, that's perfect. That's spending it on yourself. I think they mean like you have to spend it though.
Right. That's not spending.
You have to spend on yourself, whatever that means. And I'm not $1 million in student loan debt, so I would have some left over. I think the rest of it. See, I would want to save it. Hiccuping. I would want to save it too. I think I just spend the rest of it on the mortgage then.
My first thought is putting it toward like an even bigger house. I say putting it toward because where I live, $1 million gets you like a condo.
Yeah.
So
that's wild to me.
That's
wild to me. Where I'm just like, so like, for instance, there's this gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous barn that's right down the road from where I live. It has like, I think 30 acres or maybe 60, some multiple of 3, but like, it's like 30 or 60 acres. It was a horse farm. I really want it so badly. And it's $600,000. And it's like, whoa. And like, you get like this big house, this big farmhouse, and you get all this stuff and like all these things, but it's $600,000. And I'm like, damn, I'm like never going to get that. But if I had $1 million,
there you go.
Like, meanwhile, $600,000 there is like, oh, that's my rent for the year. I'm kidding. That's a lot of rent, but still.
Yeah, I would just say if I had $1 million, what I spend it on, I would just think about maybe like upgrading to a nicer house. I like my house, but I'm just like, I don't know.
Yeah. I want for nothing. That's not what you're saying, but.
Did you see what I said in Cyborg Central?
No, let me go see. We gotta really like.
That was gonna be my hit. TM Sparrow, but I was like, that's a little too specific.
No, not that. Oh yeah, we were like, the TM Sparrow would know.
You were just trying to be supportive.
She was supportive. She was great. So good. Just such a lovely person.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Shit happens. But anywho, okay, I'm getting...
See, there we go. Okay, so Elizabeth, oh my God, Lily Birthday said, pay off all my debt, start a lavender farm, and write. Yes,
A
this is
lavender farm.
gorgeous
That was
idea. I used to want
fancy.
to have a tea farm, and it takes like a while for like a tea farm to go. Like a
What's a
tea, like tea leaves, like you grow the herbs and stuff. It takes like a
Oh.
while, like 7 years before it like cultivates and stuff. And lavender, I feel like is a tough one to get going, but once it does, it's good. So,
Yeah, I can't think like I know that later this year, Cliff and I
mhm,
have already discussed it. I'm gonna do a little wardrobe revamp.
mhm.
But that's not gonna be $1 million. I'm not fucking buying
I know, like
Gucci.
you would get so many clothes for $1 million. Well, yeah, I guess I could do. Um, hmm,
Like
maybe.
even if you think about cars and stuff, like I
Oh
have an
my,
expensive
I'm
car,
not.
but it's not $1 million.
No, also I paid off my car and I love her so much. She's Marigold and she's um
Subaru.
a Subaru. Yeah, she a
Yes.
manual Subaru and I'm not getting rid of her ever. She crashed with me and my husband was like, maybe they'll just say she's totaled and then we can just get it. I was like, I don't want another one. And she got patched up and brought back to life and she's still going. Um Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Team Spirit. You could take my dream to Ireland. Honestly, yeah, you could like live there and move there and stuff and own a castle there. Castles there are not a lot of money,
Hmm.
actually. So
Yeah, the thing I'm most looking forward to right now is getting like revamping my wardrobe, but again, we're not doing that until like June. And
uh
and that's not gonna be $1 million. Like that'll be like $1,000. Like and then that's if I'm splurging.
yes,
So
yes.
I can't think of anything. Like I would really like a hot tub. Is that a
That's not a
million?
$1 million. Man, we all of us, including everyone in the chat, is struggling.
We're so boring.
We are boring. Like I feel like normal people, which whatever normal means, but normal people are like car,
Right.
house, babes, and then like,
Right.
just buy
Gucci,
women.
Prada, Dolce. Wait. Gucci, Prada. What's the line? Hold on. I know it's a song lyric.
I know the one you're talking about, but the beat isn't even showing up on my brain right now. See, I could start a dog rescue. That's the kind of shit we're talking about. Yes, you could. I feel like I could do like a horse sanctuary or something.
Let's see. Where is it? Gucci, Prada, Dolce Gabbana, red bottom.
Oh,
Yes, I got them. There we go.
yes.
It's funny. The only reason I knew some of these brands is because of the song. Because like I have a Ferragamo bag, but Ferragamo is a brand. It's like a
Uh-huh.
very classy brand.
Uh-huh.
But I have it because my grandma died and she gave it to me. I had no idea Ferragamo was a nice brand until I listened to this drag song. And I feel bad mentioning it because this particular queen is problematic, so I'm not going to get into that. But the line was just hold on, where is it? Ferragamo, Chloe Dior, labels come, give me more. You don't need layaway when you're cashing checks, baby. But anyway, I just knew that song and I saw Ferragamo and I'm like, oh,
I've
this
never
is a fancy brand.
heard of that before until just now. So
Well, there you go. But it's funny because I'll like wear it places and people be like, I love your bag. And I'm like, thanks, my grandma. My dead grandma
thanks,
gave it
my
to
grandma
me.
haunts it. And she curses those who have wronged me.
Yeah, she does. That's a whole other story, guys. But it has happened and it's 3 people have been cursed by my dead grandma.
It's very
including the one we're talking about in Cyber Central. I need to end the stream because now I'm buzzed and I'm just gonna keep being problematic. So Iona, tell everyone where they can follow you.
You can follow me at Creepy Court and Folklore. And you can check out my website. It's of the same name and on Instagram and YouTube. And you can buy my book Ashes on Amazon or Audible.
And buy my books for my birthday. That's like the nicest thing you could do.
Yes.
They're available
You can gift them too, just so you know.
Buy copies for other people. Be like, hey, here you go.
And not that I have people that I've gifted the Saviors, like the Savior series to, but I do have to say, I'm not saying but like as if that's bad, but I do have to say gifting Shut Up and Write the Book is super easy because it goes to like anyone. Like I've sent it to a video game developer before, I've sent it to screenwriters before. I know it's not for that. And of course people like friends of mine that are like writing novels and stuff, it's so easy to gift it. And they're like, this is a little thin mint, so they're like, ooh, like a little pick me up. But then if they're feeling, if you have more romantic type of friend that are like want to swoon and stuff, then you send them the thickies.
The thickies. that there's a joke to be made there.
Oh
but
no!
I'm not gonna make it. Oh wait.
We saw the tail end of doing the thing.
Look at her butt though. Isn't that a cute
She's so
butt?
fluffy and cute.
She's giving me kisses. Oh shit, she's giving me kisses. Okay, guys. So all my books are linked in the description. Hi, Butters. Yes, we're talking about you. Okay. All my books are linked in the description, guys. I'm not gonna have a video this week because it's gonna be my birthday, so I'm gonna be doing birthday stuff.
Yeah, good. I'm glad you're not doing it on Wednesday.
Let me make sure, Butters. I'm just making sure I'll be back next week because there is one Monday that I will most likely be back on Monday the 3rd next week. Cliff does have an appointment at 3, but it should be a quick appointment. Yes, oh my goodness. Yes, it should. But then we'll be back and thank you. I really, really appreciate that. But yes, follow me here on YouTube. I will eventually have videos. Follow me on TikTok. Follow me on Instagram and Death by a Thousand Licks, indeed, and buy my books. And I will see you guys on Monday.
Bye.
Bye. Buttersea, bye. Buttersea.